Professional.
5 professional.
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me.
I'm feeling fly, yeah, I'm so damn fresh. Got that platinum grill, bringing in the chest. Diamonds in my mouth, shining when I speak. That umbrella guy, flossing speaking geek. Ice on my teeth, I'm dripping so hard. Platinum grills, I'm the king of the boulevard. Throwing money in the club, making haters mad. I'm the baddest in the game, no one gets a pass. Ooh yeah. Pushing all these lines, yeah, I feel fly. Rolling on the dubs, that umbrella guy. Iced out cold on the boulevard. You ain't a comic gangster, don't be playing hard. Ice on my teeth, I'm flying so high. Dropping the bass, that umbrella guy. One drill to rule them all, one drill to bind them. Baby, I'm so iced out, gonna blind them. Rolling in town, I'm an army of one. Doing verbal walk-bys, blazing like the sun. Riding in my whip, crushing false accusers. Dropping off the bass on the real abusers. Yeah. Living life fast, no time for the slow. Justice on my mind, stacking up on my throat. Life in the fast lane, no time to blink. Ice on my teeth, watch it when I speak. Chillin' on my rhymes, never missing a beat. Ice on my teeth, yeah, I'm living that sweet. That umbrella guy, bringing the platinum heat. Crushing every hater, no time for defeat. Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah, indeed. What's up, baby? Welcome to Mayberry Part 2.
I plead the fife.
Yes. Feed the fife too. Feed the fife. Let's see it. Oh man, look at that. Black and whited out.
So beautiful.
Man. Yes, I love it. Man, dead punk, by the way. Got to give the man prompts. If you have not seen his work before, well, you've seen it a lot. Actually, you see it a lot in avatars. This will end up on a wonderful shirt. Man, look at that. I plead the fife.
I'm showcasing a dead punk one today too.
Yeah, let's zoom in on
Dead
you there.
punk drew my avatar of my hair, helping me write.
Oh yeah, this was your writing analysis that I was talking
Yes.
about you doing.
Yes, my writing analysis, and it's perfect for today because I spent all day writing an article that I was laboring over after having that viral tweet.
Oh yeah.
Trying to stop the debate. So I wrote like a 2,000 word article, which is now on pjmedia.com, which you can go and read. Please do. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, drop it in the
clickety click, please. Clickety click. It helps. And but that took up my entire day. And I feel like this cartoon is suggesting. Do you see the frustration and the exhaustion?
Yeah, it's bad when you even have to recruit the hair to do your work. You're like, oh no, man.
because I got myself in this situation where I had to analyze a college assignment. I had to go back to college today, basically, and delve deep into the world of sociology, which I don't know if you've ever had to do that, but it is absolutely
Oh yeah.
painful.
Yes.
It's the most painful bullshit on earth. And but I think I did well. And you would never know that I didn't actually make it all the way through my college career. I dropped the fuck out because I was like, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. But no, I will drop the link though in the chat. So look out for it and clickety click and help out. Thanks.
Oh man, article. I do not miss that. That's why, like, you know, I had about a year and a half, and I would have had my ABA PhD, and I was like, you know, I had a few issues with that. You know, I didn't want to spend the rest of my life telling working class citizens that I'm sorry, you don't qualify for help for your children. You have issues that could be actually, you know, I ran into this when I started doing practicums. I was working with one of the guys. It's we used to be a dean over at the college, and we sat there. You know, we went through all this analysis for a kid, and their kid was on the spectrum, and they definitely needed help. You know, that they would, but you know, if you go in and you have proper assistance, you can get, you know, there's plenty of help out there. But unfortunately, these people, when we went through and we were looking at what help they qualify for, the guy, I can't remember, he was something like an electrician or, you know, something like that, maybe a roofer. And the wife, she worked, I can't remember what she did as well, but both of them, they qualified about $7,000 over a threshold to get any kind of real assistance. So yeah, I didn't want to do that with the rest of my life. It was a horrible feeling. So yeah.
It's a horrible feeling to have to just follow these professors' instructions. Like, it's a horrible feeling just to read the instructions, like on what they want these students to do and how they want them to do it. It is intellectually stifling. It is, it's awful.
I remember doing history classes with some, you know, I remember I would take electives with different history classes, or I would just sit in and, you know, I would audit them. And when you know, you sit in, basically auditing is you can sit in for free. You don't get anything for it, but you know, it'd be interesting sometimes. And you get a good one. You're like, man, yeah, that person just wants you to learn about history. And then you would get somebody that wants to make a point with it. And those people that want to make a point, they're awful teachers.
Yeah, they're trying to convert you, you know.
Yeah. It's like,
and that's it's to a way of thinking. You know, good. I've had some good professors and some bad ones. And the good ones, even if they disagree with you, I had this one professor. He wasn't actually even my professor. When I was at ASU for a little while, I was as outspoken then as I am now. I would write letters to the student newspaper, letters to the editor when I would see something that I didn't like, and I would, you know, rebut it. And I wrote this one once that got the attention of the campus radio station, and they invited me to come and do a debate on the topic. I believe the topic at the time that was raging was affirmative action, and that's what it was about. And I get there, and here I am thinking that I'm going to debate either the guy who wrote the article in the first place that I responded to, who was just another student, or other students. I get there and I find out I'm debating a law professor. And I'm a freshman. I'm 18 years old. I'm my daughter's age, you know? And I was so scared. I was like, and we're doing this on the radio live. And this man was so nice. He was totally entertained by me. I could tell that, like, I made him laugh, and he totally disagreed with me, but he was so gentle and so kind. And afterwards, you know, we walked outside together. It was a really fun conversation, and it didn't get nasty or anything. And afterwards, we walked outside together, and he was like walking around campus with me and telling me about his life and how he belonged to a band or whatever. And he would write me letters after that. Like, we kept in touch for a while. Like, such a nice person who had nothing but nice things to say about me and could disagree nicely. Like, this was a guy I would have loved to have as a professor, because he was the kind of
That's
person
rare.
who would encourage you, even if you were on the other side. He would encourage you, and he did. He encouraged me, and he spent a lot of time writing me letters to encourage me in my college career, and he was great. But then
It's
you
like
have these
finding a unicorn,
oh
right there,
God,
though.
yeah, yeah, and then you find, you have other ones who just fight you every step of the
You know,
way.
in college, I finally, when you're on the tip of the people taking offense to everything, I ran into that when I started teaching classes on my own. I did that for a little bit. I thought for a while, I thought, man, you being a college professor, that might be all right. I've got a master's degree, working through a PhD. I'd started out as a TA or a teacher's assistant. I'd gone into graduate assistantship. So you're already teaching classes. By the time you're a TA, you're
Yeah,
teaching classes. But
right.
and then toward the end of that, I was just teaching. So I went to class one day and I made this weird mistake for somebody. I held the door open for them. And, this is right at the tip. You hear these weird stories from people
How
all the
dare
time.
you open
Yeah, I
a
held this
door
door.
for someone?
This female student stopped right at the door as I'm holding it open. I actually held the door open for somebody before them. Professor who looked like Santa Claus. I loved him. He looked just like Santa Claus. Had been some kind of a, I don't remember if he was a monk or whatever. It doesn't matter. But the lady behind him, she stops at the door and she's like, "How dare you, you sexist piece of," and she just starts railing in. So after she does that, she starts to walk back toward the door and I let it go. I let it close, like right in front of her. And then she stopped again and started yelling through the door about how I was awful because I let it close. So you can't win, man. Can't win, so I can't play that game. Actually, the worst thing ever had happened, though, was there was this guy that refused to wear shoes, and no deodorant, no shoes or anything. Very awful. Like that's a distraction and a half. Well, let's just say he'd stepped in something outside one day, attracted neglect. And I told him, So I told him to go and clean his feet off, and I was nice about it and everything else. Didn't make a big deal out of it, but I was like, oh, gross. So the next day I got called in for administration. And they got onto me because this person's family were heavy donors for the school. And apparently it was a very horrible thing to say, "Hey, don't track dog shit into my classroom and sit there with it on your feet."
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I was like, dude, I can't.
I can't do this.
I
Yeah.
can't. I was like, no way. I was just like, are you kidding me? We were supposed to be there learning about statistics I taught a lot of statistics classes. Now a lot of that would be outdated now, if they're the technology, but I would do that. And I would go through like the APA manuals, hey, this is how you write your papers. So that's essentially what I was doing, statistics and procedural stuff, which was fun. I enjoyed that, but I did not enjoy the other side of it, dealing with the administration and the actual dog shit. Speaking of dog shit, have you heard that apparently people are not, you love that segue, right?
Yeah, that was brilliant, especially because I know where you're going.
Have you heard this? We heard this dog shit about how certain people they're not PR. They're not the PR for Michelle Preston.
I heard there's a lot of backpedaling going on in the PR department.
Yeah, that's weird.
The PR department is rebranding themselves.
and that's fascinating because there are plenty of clips out there that actually they 100% do prove this. There was one, I was like, yeah, here's a couple. We were talking about this for a minute before this started. I wanted to make sure that I paraphrased them at least, somewhat correctly.
I wanted to upload them to Dropbox and let it create a transcript. And we can do a dramatic reading.
I have to pull it since I have it in DMs and not.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I have to pull it out.
Dang it.
So yeah. But They essentially tell us that they're not Bruce's PR. They're Michelle Preston's PR. And on top of that, they had another one where they tell us again that they are PR for Michelle Preston. But now they're telling, oh, no. They're not PR. They've never had a background in PR. They don't work in PR. Yeah, that's not.
They weren't hired as PR, as if the word hired makes any difference when you've already said we're PR. I'm PR. I am the voice. We are the voice of Michelle Preston. And saying that you don't work for Bruce, you work for Michelle, it's the same thing, especially when you're taking orders from her attorney in your chat telling you, I'm sending you the edits for your interview.
Indeed. And on top of that, the fishing expedition, where she was trying to find out information, like who's she giving that information to? Oh yeah, she's giving it to the people that are going to go out there and they're going to run PR for her. Of course, that's let me find those real quick. Actually, yes, Shara, by the way. So fun enough, Shara has not stopped yet. She's actually been addressing. I kind of like this version of Shara because she's motivated, man. She is really motivated.
Yeah,
I like it.
Keep encouraging Shara, guys. Keep encouraging her. I know she's tired and she doesn't feel good, but she is keeping on.
She should be. I mean, okay. See, this isn't the job of PR, right? Hey, Shara, Jamie had out the girls want to chat with her. What? What girls? I don't know what you're talking about. The two L's. They want to know. Oh, yeah. So let's find the information. And of course, it goes through accusing him again. I'm not going through all of this, but accusing him of terrible things, awful things, not proven things, that are definitely things that I imagine could work their way into litigation. But they wanted to find all of that, direct a right to a person. Again, that was her fishing, trying to get her voice out there, her actual voice. That's what they say, that they're the voice of. So that would be her voice, just like what a lawyer is. I mean, what else? If you're not a person's lawyer, that would be her voice, legally. What else becomes your voice? A PR team. And they called themselves that. So
They certainly did.
Multiple times.
They certainly did.
I'm proud of that. It's amazing to me.
And by the way, we have all these sound clips. It's just that they're being dicks about fair use. And so if we play any of them, they'll use it as an excuse to falsely file copyrights, take down the channel, which they have written. There is written evidence that that's what they're doing. And plus, you've seen it happen on my channel twice. And so we can't play it here. But Tug and I were thinking, we are going to do, maybe we'll do it on Tuesday where we do another Rumble exclusive second part of the show. And we will play all of these clips back to back where they can't touch me because it is fair use, first of all. But YouTube has a terrible system that doesn't notice these false claims.
What does it say about a person, by the way, when they fear their own voice? Their own statements. Again, remember, they're the arbiters of truth, baby. It's wild to me when they can make a claim and it can be just totally disproven. We never did that. We never talked about squig pro quos babies,
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's 100% disprovable, by the way.
100%. I've shown it
Yeah.
on my channel of
Yep.
them saying we never did that, never talked about our kid. And then I split right to the moment when they're literally sitting there talking about her kid and laughing about the idea of her choking. So that is,
Well,
it's
actually,
provable.
let's
It's provable. And when I
laughing is who talks about it, by the way? Who was that?
Bruce. And by the
Yes,
way,
indeed.
there's always these accusations over there that we tell lies, but they never show any evidence of that. They just say it. You don't hear clips of me. And by the way, if you want to find some and put them back to back and go ahead and do that, I'm not going to strike you for that. I don't do that because I'm I'm not an asshole. If you find that you want to do that, go ahead.
I would say I would amend my statement. I'd be like, I'm not that kind of asshole.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's more accurate.
Yeah. Hey, check this out, by the way. So, I've got some stuff that I want to read through, like, where we were yesterday. But like I said, Shara has been a busy bee, where we left off. Look, she's oh man, they have motivated her. You can see like through, unfortunately, this is the way that that Facebook reads too. You can see some of the statements mixed in, but she's continued talking about things in the last few hours, within the last, say, 12, she's actually been adding on to it. She's calling out lies. And I think that's absolutely great. I'm glad that she's doing that, because she's real timing this stuff. And she's putting in the thing that it threw me off at first, but what she's actually doing is pretty good here. She's given the date of the broadcast there. So the thing that she's addressing, that's what, like November the 12th, 2024. That's her broadcast that she's talking about.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, whose broadcast? The
two
channels?
L's.
Yeah. Okay. The Blunder twins, the Butter sisters.
She calls it, like she says, the 2L quote.
Lies.
So she'll put the. I just like the 2 L's,
2 L's.
Hold that L to your
Which is,
here.
what we should call them, the 2 XLs. That'd be funnier.
Shit. You got me when I was inhaling this cigar. I was like,
the double XLs. Can we call them the double XLs? That's perfect.
Man.
That's perfect. The double XLs. Oh God. I love me sometimes. You know that? I love me. I really do. I laugh at my own jokes. I entertain myself.
That's actually. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm like, as long as you can laugh at your own jokes, that's what's important. I am the target audience for my jokes.
Me too. I am the only one that matters. If I laugh, it killed. That's all I care about. If I laughed, it definitely killed.
Man Bear Pig said, Michelle, she couldn't afford public relations, but she could find some Puerto Ricans. PR, right?
Maybe that's what they meant by PR. Or they could have meant. God. Oh, I can't say that. Never mind.
Look at this. This is amazing. By the way, sticky widget.
I have so many PRs that I can use right now. I'm going to drop them in the private chat just so that you have to laugh inappropriately with me.
Oh no. I'm going to be laughing. I can't believe, like, with sticky widgets here, I'm going to use quotes. Speaking of dog shit, can you believe, like, first of all, that's funny, but also I can't believe that the moderation bot lets you type out the shit, I'm shocked. That's amazing. Some days. Bad Megan. Bad Megan.
Chat, you're just going to have to imagine what you think I might
have
said.
Imagine not seen on TV. By the way, from yesterday, one awesome thing is after we talked about toys, growing up and shows, people have been writing me and been like, hey, what about this show? What about gargoyles? Did you remember that one? Or, you guys didn't talk about the Smurfs very much. You mentioned the gummy bears somewhat. You remember the song? And I'm like, hell yeah, man. It's like I fell into a 1980s, 1990s.
That was fun. That was fun. I love talking about that stuff sometimes. Like just falling down a rabbit hole that everybody can just have fun with is a good time.
I loved it anyway. Like you said, I remind my kids, my kids are like, there's nothing on TV. I was like, back in the day, there really wasn't anything on TV at all. It was 2, 4, 5, public access 8. And
do you remember when at night at like around 10:30, it would just turn off?
Yeah. Turn off. Get like the American flag. And then they started adding infomercials.
You couldn't even have it on for background noise because it was just this annoying.
Yeah, it was like you were being bleeped out. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much profanity. They've stopped the show.
I mean, with the rainbow graph, It was really amazing. Like, it was a different world. It was a completely different world. And I personally think that every night around like 10:30, everything should shut off. It would be great. It would be great. We need a gray screen around 11
people
p.m.
would sleep better. You know,
Oh, we
you would
sure
definitely,
would.
societally, we would rest better. Kids would rest better. You know, it
Yep.
actually there'd be so much good in there. I don't know. Like, I like going back and remembering. You know, when Fox started up, like I said, I was walking my kids through, and they're like, "I don't really care about this, Dad." I was like, "I care about it, so I want to tell you about it." Yeah, because the kids will talk about like horror shows. You know, like my oldest, she'll talk about it. And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, Fox. That's where all that stuff really came from." You know, back in the day, there weren't any real shows
You're
like
like,
that. Well,
let me tell you about a little horror pet named Lamb Chop. Let me tell you about a puppet that gave me nightmares.
oh,
God,
man.
you know what I love is the Muppets. I used to live for the Muppet
the
Show.
Muppets, yes.
I mean, it came on every Sunday night or Saturday. I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. I think Sunday. And I lived for that show. And when I had children, one of the things I wanted for them was to give them the Muppet Show. And so, of course, I bought it on Prime or whatever and showed it to them, and they hated it. They hated everything about it. And it's
they hated everything about it.
yeah,
That's
everything,
awesome.
everything. They hated the Muppets, the way they looked. One of them had nightmares about one of them for like a
Ugh.
year. It was awful. It was like, oh crap. But at least they loved Mr. Rogers. I put that on for them, and they loved that. So that was good.
Somebody mentioned Fraggle Rock too. Like, all that stuff was amazing. You know, I mean,
Oh, Fraggle Rock was so
Yeah.
good. Loved
I miss
Fraggle
those
Rock.
days. I like the fact that you can go back and watch those, and you know, shows back when, even if they only had one season, you know, you'd have like 20 something episodes of something. So that'd be like 3 seasons of a modern show. Actually, now I guess a lot of them are 6 episodes, so it'd be more like 4 seasons.
Isn't that something? The only thing that makes that okay is that there's so much content out there that you never really get bored.
Yeah.
Like, I got upset when the House of Dragons or whatever went off the air and it's going to be gone for 2 years, and then I promply
Lord.
forgot about it.
I
know you
mad
hate
the way they
I
ended.
loved it. I loved it.
See, I know what, like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you know, it's based on, here's the problem. Let's talk about this real quickly. Okay. Game of Thrones was based on over 1 million more. I mean, we're talking quite a bit of content, right? When you're looking at House of Dragons, they're trying to take all of these seasons off of about 80,000 words. You know, again, I can't remember the exact number, but it's about 80,000. So they're really stretching this material. You know, they're adding in things, and some of the stuff they decide to add in, like, basically it was an entire scene. There were a couple of good battles in House of the Dragon, but mostly it was like, we're building for war. You know, you end season 1, we're going to war. Season 2 was, we're still building for war.
I liked it. I thought during that time there was a lot of character building, and there was a lot of, you know, exposition of where these characters come from, and I love the costumes and I love the sets. I just really liked it, and I liked the ending. I hated the ending of Game of Thrones, though. I thought that was ridiculous.
Oh, that was terrible. That's because they ran out of material. That's George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, and they should have waited for the books to be finished or whatever. Now,
they're still not done, so they never would have gotten them. We would have never gotten an end. That was the problem. And by then, you know, George R.R. Martin had checked out. You know, he's like, I had disagreements. It's like, well, write down what happens then, mofo. You know, come on, buddy. Oh, God. But, I mean, at least the material for House of Dragons, all that. I wish they would go back to the very beginning of the Targaryen dynasty. You know, how it starts. That's some good reading. In fact, that book, that's also a series that never finished. You know, you have a book that reads like a history book. It's awesome the way it's written out. And you have multiple sources so they conflict. So you don't really have anything set in stone. You have an idea of what comes up. You have a three sources. You have a source that's kind of like a history teacher, you know. Then you have a source that's he was a court jester and he's always perverse in everything he tells you. So you get the salacious stuff, you know, and they refer to these different sources throughout it. I don't know. It's written well, but it's a part 1 of 2, and we'll never get part 2, so they'll never finish the entire dynasty. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
But the part 1, there's enough there. They could start out how all of this began, and that is fascinating. The wars that lead through it. I mean, they have enough material. If they would have started there, we could have had out of House of the Dragon, we could have actually had another 8 seasons and actually had it drawing from material and being really excited. Anyway, I don't know.
I haven't read the material, so to me, somebody who has never read any of these books, I liked it. But I could see how it would be frustrating to
all I wanted was 2 more episodes. You know, the reason they didn't do that is because under David Zaslav, under Warner Brothers, they are never safe from the accountants. And that's what the problem was. They ran out of money. So the big battle, you could tell what was coming, you know, how they have all these boats on the ocean, you know, you could tell something's going to happen, right, with all of that stuff. Well, they should have had 2 more episodes. If they had 2 more episodes to really, you got some major battles coming, and they're amazing. And it's so cruel. Again, not ruining anything, but they better not screw that stuff up. And now I have to wait 2 years. Oh my God. I could rant about that. We have all stream ranting about House of the Dragon.
Are you done? Are you finished with that?
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Because if I don't stop, that's what this live stream will be about.
Note to self: do not bring up House of Dragon.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, like that's when I watch a lot of content on Game of Thrones, you know, like what should have happened, House of Dragon. Between that and, you know, like mafia stuff, you know, that's pretty much, and this stuff, that's pretty much all I watch. You know, these days though, all I've done.
Don't forget the Borgias. I mean, you're all over that.
Oh man, yeah, actually. I'm not even going to get on that subject.
I'm sorry I brought that up too. Sorry, chat. You're going to get a lecture on the Borgias now. Sorry.
Oh, no, man. It'll be like a history lesson. You know?
Whenever I need a bathroom break, I'm going to bring up the Borgias, and then I'm just going to disappear, and he won't even know that I'm gone.
Yeah, you'll be like, hey, Tug, tell us about one of those 28 audiobooks I've heard you listening to when you popped in. Man. You know, to be honest, though, there is no insanity or drama like this stuff we're watching play out in real time right now. I mean, just to be honest, like I go back through history,
that's why
insanity.
They say truth is stranger than fiction. Truth is stranger than fiction. And I mean, it just couldn't be any other way, could it? Because humanity, we love to we love to watch these things that are fiction and entertainment. But truthfully, I think people like to watch each other more because we are weirder than anything. What's going on out here is weirder than anything that's going on in Hollywood's mind. I'm telling you, it's just bizarre.
Well, if I told you, you know, if I sit down and I try to explain to somebody that's not kept up with any of the stuff that's going on with
it's impossible.
Hales v. Yeah, some of it just sounds absolutely insane. You know?
That's like trying to talk about the Tonsil twins, trying to tell people about Laura Owens. It's impossible. You can't. I'm like, all right, the TLDR. 3 hours later. I mean, it can't be done.
Right now. The newest chapters of that are crazy. Now
I know we still haven't got to that.
Oh, now he pops up his own YouTube channel,
and he's doing Twitter lives and like totally botching it. By the way, so funny.
Yeah,
the latest is he introduced himself as Douche Canoe in the Pregnancy Faker.
Yeah, and she was like, ha, 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 yeah. And it's like, yeah, that's probably not something to laugh about. You know, that looked really bad. That looked really, really bad, especially when you're still facing the legal consequences. Although, like I said, until something happens, I have no faith whatsoever that something will happen. You know, we'll see. But
I think it's an awful big risk, though, when your lawyer goes in public and says, nobody ever gets charged for perjury. She's not going to be charged for that. Boy, is that risky. You are really risking that Rachel Mitchell, the county attorney, is going to hear that and go, you want to test me?
Yeah, maybe people need to remind, I mean, again, it is a dare. It is screw you, nothing's going to happen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Shara though. God, Shara is my favorite right now to watch out of anything because Shara, they have poked, prodded her at first, and now they've gone beyond that. It's almost like walking up to somebody. If you could have an equivalent of walking up and slapping somebody in the face with a glove and saying, game on. That's what that happened. And Shara's like,
I love that mental picture.
yeah. That's what Shara was like, they were poking and poking, and she like took off her glove and walked up, and she was like, whoopsh, whoopsh. She's like, good day, sir. And I was like, hell to the yeah. You tell them. Okay, so this starts out, again, there's some stuff, this is a long one, all right, but there's some really good stuff in some of these, and there's brand new ones. All of this is new, by the way. We're not rehashing anything. This is all new stuff. Let me just make that clear. This is all within a day, but some of the stuff has come up within, it's talking directly to these people too, because they keep talking shit about Shara. Shara, by the way, I do appreciate this stuff. So Shara for November the 12th. And again, this isn't her writing it on November the 12th. She's responding to things that are said then. She says, 2L quotes. She's at 2L, 2L1. So, quote, the legal ramifications of using information you're not supposed to have. Yeah. So basically, when Shara, between the two of them, OMG, have fun. You guys are idiots.
What does that even mean?
She wrote it out. Idiots.
Idiots. I got it. I gotcha.
Yeah, I love it. Look, she even spells it out for me. Thank you. You're all a bunch of idiots. So Bruce and Shara, this whole thing with their conversation, she went off in another she went answering our entire video via post she's making, but it says her name in it. I want to assume maybe Facebook. I don't know, but it's being sent to me. I mean, first of all, idiots. Yeah, it's right here. It's public, morons. It's very easy to find. I want to assume it's Facebook. Why do you assume that? Maybe because, the shots look Facebook behind that. This Facebook. I mean, fuck, it's not secret again. I'm not gonna look in anywhere. I'm getting screenshots. I can't tell you how many screenshots I have in my email right now since Megan started her live today. Okay, that was one quote. 2L2 quote. I haven't checked mine, but all I know is one of the emails I got before I took my little vacay. God, I hate those vacay says Megan is next. Based on the information I received for Tuggers and Nation, I hope she doesn't have any skeletons in her closet. Right there, that's a fucking threat, by the way. Like right there, that is a threat. Okay, that is not only documented. Again, people running fucking PR. Admittedly, they can deny and damage control all they want, but they're out there with the lawyer for this person. They're having communications with Michelle Preston. This is them trying to silence people. This is
what this would be like? Think about a trial, like a trial that's popular on TV, on court TV. This would be like a defendant in a trial using their lawyer and a PR team to investigate the reporters on court TV and Law and Crime, and publicly threatening that if they keep on reporting on this public court case on court TV, that they will expose the skeletons in their closets. I don't know if anyone realizes this, but that's extortion.
Indeed. You're going to keep talking about this? Well, then it's just like, it's fascinating, especially added to letters we've gotten. If you continue to talk about this, then those wonderful letters
If
from the
you
legal
stop,
team.
we can assure you won't be sued.
And he's not going to turn over the letter to these people right here. Remember, that was also part of it. If you just stop now, I won't even tell them they're doing what? Fuck you, dude. What? I mean, are you kidding me? So that tells me too, these are his mouthpiece as well. Because, if you don't stop, well, what's the other side of it? Okay. Oh, I got you there. Also, 2L number 1. All Tuck did was prove how wrong it was for Shara to have given them anything. Well, first of all, she's not giving us anything right there. She's putting this up publicly.
Putting it public. She hasn't given us anything. She's put it all on Facebook or YouTube publicly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just straight up there, but they're like, okay, with regards to her and the legal team. Again, they're admitting, like, point blank, first of all, you know what this stuff right here does? This gives Shara legitimacy. Like, you think about that. Yeah. They've already implied that she needs to be, not implied, they've said it like point blank. Actually, I shouldn't say they've implied. They said it point blank that she can't talk about this stuff because legal team. They keep bringing it up. Well, okay, like I said, that gives her legitimacy. They said that she was a liar, that there was no proof, nothing coming from her. And at the same time, they're like, well, her and the legal team. Okay, interesting, right? Then 2L2, she made her bed. She can lay in her fleas coming from the.
Yeah, they actually said that. I heard that.
Oh
I heard that.
my
But somebody
God.
sent me a clip, and I don't think that she was thinking when she said that, because that doesn't make any sense. That's what they've been referred to for so long. So it's like, wait a minute. I don't think she wants to get in bed with you two.
Really? Wait, we're going to make her live on a camper on the property? What's going on? I don't understand. But 2L number 1 says, yup, do. Anyway, I've got messages. Bruce has his own messages. That's on Bruce. You know what I mean? What? Wait,
Huh?
I've got messages. Bruce has his own messages. That's on Bruce. You know what I mean? Why do you know about Bruce's messages?
Yeah,
by the
how do
way?
you know about Bruce's messages?
Yeah, I mean, I keep wondering about, again, what they don't get this idea because they're making things worse. Actually, when they're going out and trying to damage control, they keep saying, we're not part of any team. We're not part of this. Okay, so you're not tied to the legal team, but privileged information? Is that what you're telling us? Because that seems like a bad statement too to me.
That would mean there is no privilege. Again, if they aren't paid members of his legal office, then they cannot be privy to privileged information unless privilege was broken.
Oh, it's amazing. But they continue. You know what? Basically, with her post today about these privileged emails and shit, that she thinks it's okay because she doesn't know. I don't have it because she's assuming, and wrong again. All she did was prove that she dirty deleted, because that was her admitting she dirty deleted them, because otherwise, what messages would she think that I know about? That's them trying to play damage control. They're trying to say, we don't know anything. Well, we don't. She's dirty deleting. And it's like, no, she's been showing us, she's
How do they
been
come up
showing
with
us
dirty deleting when she's showing posts? They're not.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't understand where that.
well, talk in circles. If you say words long enough, people are like, yeah, that makes sense. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have to have a low enough IQ to make this make sense. That's what I think. I think I think you have to have an IQ lower than a vegetable to understand this.
Yeah. Now for the 2Ls. What is their audience? The biscuits.
The double XLs. The double XL.
Oh my God.
Get it right. Today's nickname is the double XLs.
But she obviously forgets the group messages that I actually showed the other night of her unsending, and that was in a group. So that's how much of a moron she is. So they're calling her names. Good job, by the way. Let's motivate her. let's motivate Shara.
Okay,
Yeah.
now this is interesting. Unsending. It actually showed the other night of her unsending what was in a group. What if, and I pose this as a hypothetical, but what if it should come out that there were directives being made to unsend things in those chats and to delete things and move to a new chat? And it would be interesting to me, and this is just an idea I had, but it would be interesting to me if they were using a thing that they were all doing to point at her and say, look at her, we're deleting things out of this chat. I'd
What
like to
happens
see
if
their chat history. How about
Well,
let's
when
see
you-
your chat history. Show me that you're not doing the same thing.
when you leave somewhere too. So if you're deciding you're going to leave and you decide, hey, I'm taking me and everything that I've said with me, I mean, you can do that if you want to. Is that dirty deleting? When you're like, I'm no longer going to have access to this because I'm done. Fuck this place. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Because, she has her screenshots of everything. But here's the point too. They're playing this game where they're daring her over and over again to prove things, while also again trying to say you can't show anything because otherwise suing you. You can't do that. you can't play this game there. So that's been the focus, because they seem to think that she's the one we all seem to be in fear of. No, not I, or not Bruce either. Nobody cares about Shara. You know what this tells me? They care about Shara.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they
Whenever
bring
you say
Slug.
that, it's the thing that's most bothering them.
Yeah. And Slug, just like Slug. So they bring Shara and Slug there. They think because he was on our side. So no, our side. It's either one way or the other, our way or the highway. There's our side, their side. And I don't know, that's fascinating to me. He thinks she's got all the evidence. And by the way, she doesn't have all of the evidence. What she does is she puts together certain pieces that are happening. You know this shit's been happening, but you can't prove it. Like I'm not privy to conversations going on, but when I'm seeing things again about building an anti-what-the-hell's media ecosystem brought up by a lawyer, and other people are talking about, they want him gone. They want his YouTube channel gone. Also, again, the mass flagging that supposedly nobody's being encouraged to flag. And yet, well, we have it in black and white talking about veteran nation
Mass
going
flagging
down.
channels. Yep.
Crazy stuff. She was in the legal team, so she does have something, but what she has is nothing.
Then let her release it then.
Cool.
Stop threatening her. Stop threatening her to not release it. Stop threatening her with lawsuits. If it's really nothing, tell her to release it, or why don't you release it yourself? If you really think that Shara's things that she deleted, you must have screenshots of these deleted things that you think make her look terrible, then go ahead and release it. I've spoken to Shara. She said she's not worried about anything that she said. I
think it's fascinating. Like, the lawyer for this person sets on, this channel, and all of that again. This has become a call out Shara. It's been happening for a while now. Quite a bit. And again, they gave legal advice. So where's legal advice coming from?
They posted legal advice aimed at Shara. 2 non-lawyers, 2 XXL non-lawyers posted legal advice. Good work, ladies. Great work.
Indeed.
Stunning bravery and intellect there.
This is supposed to be kissing, I believe. They're kissing her ass. They say they're making fun of her music. They say, I think that's weird, probably. Here she is kissing their ass to make herself relevant again. And the other one says, maybe she likes brown lips. Then back, well,
sorry, I was just doing my impression.
You made me feel right at home there. Like those kids. And I thought Jeremy was the first person to call her Shara. But I was informed, no. There's like a whole hater thing on her. She blamed on Jeremy when she already knew this than the other one. I have received emails on her already. That's right. Oh, man. So again, yet another person they're receiving emails on, right? You know, that sounds like interesting threats too, because they've said what those emails, they come from the dark.
Yeah, those dark places.
The dark web. Oh, yeah. So, wow. This chick tries to involve herself in shit everywhere. You know, they can say whatever they want. They can come at me, but I don't really care. I just laugh at how stupid their bullshit is, and I'll prove otherwise. You know, I could pull out screenshots. Do it. Pull out the screenshots. I can pull up proof of Shara, but I'm not going to do that.
Why?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Motivate Shara. Motivate her even more.
It's because they don't have it. I'm telling you, it's not. It's either not there, or it doesn't show what they're saying it shows.
The bottom line is she doesn't matter. Meg doesn't matter. Vag Nation, they can all talk. It doesn't matter. What matters in these cases, okay. And when Megan gets added to a lawsuit, there you go, Megan.
What in the world?
Megan Donis gets added to a lawsuit.
How come hey, why aren't you in there? What
because they don't know how to spell 5 correctly.
Oh my God.
Because I got my cease and desist on Pfeiffer.
God, what is their hard on for me exactly?
Oh man.
What is it? What
you
is
have a
it
fan group
that they think they are going to add me to a lawsuit for?
I don't know. That would be I'm curious. Is it about Legos?
Oh yeah, well, I can't wait for that. Your Honor, here's my satire build of someone's property that was on a body cam, and actually my build looks a lot nicer than her actual property. So
my God, if that happens, I'm covering shit out of that.
I'm just simply gonna show them the fish and wildlife video. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, this seems like a pretty much 1-for-1 replica.
Frankly, I think I did a poor job representing how bad it was. Now, maybe it's been cleaned up since then. That's what they keep saying, that someone went and cleaned it up. And I don't know. We haven't seen any like recent footage. They showed something on that channel that looked like it might have been the property cleaned up, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. Maybe. Good. Yeah, they should clean it up. They should have cleaned it up a long time ago. So it doesn't matter though if it's cleaned up now. You can't go back. You can't be like, that's defamation of title, her Lego build, when that's what it looked like. I mean, I welcome that. It would be hilarious. I will bring all the Legos. I have preserved them in their original state. I have not added anything since they started threatening this. They are my entire Turtle Purgatory build is still preserved. In fact, I even have the futon gate and the turtles with the weird growths on their necks. But all of it, and I mean all of it, is based on that fish and wildlife video, and nothing in it is something that wasn't there.
Man, they spent a lot of time talking about Shara here. I mean, Shara transcribed it. It's awesome, though. I love it. But
I like this one. So when I get added to a lawsuit, that's when she can fucking matter again. In a conversation with me.
I didn't know y'all had a conversation.
I didn't. We are not having any
Oh
conversation.
man, y'all are
I can tell you that right
besties,
now.
you know. She's my best friend. And y'all hanging out. It's gonna be like a sitcom.
I can't imagine anything worse than a conversation with that coughing phlegm wad double XL. No, I can't imagine anything worse than that. No, thank you.
Megan, now it's gonna help us sell. This is Tiger Eye.
Can she have a conversation without coughing every 5 seconds? Because I haven't heard it. And I'm not interested in that kind of conversation.
Is this still about Shara? Yeah, I can't figure out who they're talking about anymore.
No,
that
I
chick
don't really.
is so out of her mind with her spouse. That's, I guess, you.
It's about me.
You're out of your mind with speculative theories. It's such creative spin, man. Yeah, you know, you can look at a video and be like, "Hey, this is what I see there." Oh my God, that's speculation.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's about me, or maybe it's about Shara. I'm not sure.
I can't tell.
Because then it says, "Did Shara ever put her 2 years of reporting
on Otter Creek?" Oh no, she publicized it on her Facebook. Well, you know, she's definitely talking about her 2 years now, baby.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say when is the right time for her to drop the stuff she has? I mean, she's an independent. She's an independent journalist. Do you know how much information I have, FOIAs, etc., that I've kept to myself, and information on stories that I've never released, either because I, one, didn't have time, haven't got to it yet, or two, I'm just waiting on something else. Like sometimes investigations take years. I worked for 15 months on the Missouri court corruption case, and I could still be working on it right now if I wanted to be. So
4 years on something. I did it like every day talking about it. You know, it's amazing. Like, you know, what's amazing too is when you spend lots of time in this day and age, especially people like, oh my God, you know, why are you still talking about, man, this stuff, it takes a while for a complete picture to actually emerge. I mean, look at what we're seeing now.
Mhm.
We've been talking about this for a while. And look, I mean, there's brand new stuff. There's new pieces popping up. There are people that have had pieces here and there. They brought Slug up. Why'd they bring him up? Because he had pieces of this thing that proved some of the stuff that we knew was going on. Shara, she has even more pieces there, you know.
Mhm.
But meanwhile, she held on to the Freedom of Information Act reports, police reports for violations that Jeremy has been claiming that John and Michelle violated the protective order. She's been holding into the police reports that say that all of those violations were unfounded.
Oh,
She
by
was
the
holding
way,
on them.
I saw those FOIAs because they read them on that channel,
Oh.
and they thought this was like a really big reveal. But Jeremy and George had already told everyone that they went to the police several times and they wouldn't do anything. So do they think that by showing the police reports that say there was nothing, that they didn't find any violation, was a big reveal? We already knew that. And reading those reports, I could see how maybe two of the instances, I could see where the police might not have found a violation. But in the post office one, they were 100% wrong. 100% wrong. George was in the post office, and there's no way she could have known that Lynette was going to the post office after her. So George is in the post office. Lynette walks into the post office and sees her, and should have just turned around and walked out.
That's what you're told, by the way. You know, if you have a protective order against somebody, and there's a question of it, you know, because you know I've asked questions just like this with lawyers, you know, been asked them to district attorney and everything else. You know, hey, if there's somebody that's not supposed to be around you, you know, and like say I'm in a building and they pop up, what's supposed to be happening? They're supposed to leave. That's straight up. They notice you.
Yeah.
They're
supposed to leave. And she didn't. She went instead. She pretended like she didn't see her, and she went to her P.O. box. And allegedly, because there was glass between them, the police are like, yeah, it's not a violation. No, it is. It is a violation. The Levy County Sheriff there's something wrong with them. They're
glass
supposed
between you. I
Mhm.
mean, really? Like,
Mhm.
okay, well, oh well, you know, you were inside your home. There were bricks and windows between you. What's up? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're
No.
not allowed to come within a certain footage of these people, and that means
Yep.
if you I could see, uh, even if it were the other way around and George got to the post office after Lynette still is supposed to turn around and leave. But it didn't even happen that way. George was there first. And this is to me, that one was absolutely 100% a violation, and the sheriff refused to write it up as one. So frankly, the big FOIA dump that they thought they had showed me that the sheriff refused to uphold the order.
Oh my God, they're calling Shara a slithering snake.
Oh Lord, that is so over the top.
She did not hand them over, but she was working for Michelle's team. So they're trying to say that she was supposed to be buying these things on her own, and yet
And then
at
handing
the
him
same
over.
time
I don't
working
think
for Michelle.
I don't think Shara would mind if I repeated this, but because I think she wrote about it on Facebook too, but she confirmed with me that she was never asked for those FOIAs, and that she had requested so many of them that she didn't even know which one they were talking about when they started throwing a fit about it. So, and we've seen those. She put those messages up of him saying, you know, which FOIA, and she's like, or where's the FOIA? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So she was never asked for them until very recently when they got all pissed. So this is just bullshit. She wasn't asked for them.
Nobody owns, like, if I'm making requests myself, I'm not working for the fucking legal team. I'm not getting paid to do this kind of stuff. Those are my documents, man. That's my research. You know, I share items when I find them with other people, but I'm not required or obligated to in any way or shape or form. But they're like, oh man, you're working for Michelle. Tell me how she was helping and how Jeremy seems to know every little freaking thing that Michelle has maybe told Shara. So again, they're doubling down on the idea that Shara was a plant for Jeremy.
Wait, Jeremy seems to know every little freaking thing that Michelle has maybe told Shara. What's with the maybe?
I have no idea.
I mean, we know that Jeremy had one conversation with Shara on the phone that he put on YouTube.
Yeah.
He called her and had a little interview with her and they were on the phone. That's the only communication, and it was published on YouTube, that either one of them says they had. And I confirmed that with both of them. There have been no emails, no exchange of information other than that one phone call that was on YouTube.
See, typically, like something like this, I wouldn't care to go through and look at as an entire transcript. But with Shara posting this, she's taking notice of what they're saying about her. So, you know, that's another world. Again, they have made statements that they know are false about her. They fucking know she's not working for Jeremy. They know that 100%. And yet, they also, I mean, again, they've called her out. So, I mean, why are they mad when she's talking about stuff, when she's being called a liar? But here it continues. How would Jeremy know? Jeremy doesn't talk to Michelle and John, but he somehow seems to know what the hell is going on in her house.
Maybe it's because Lynette never talks below a scream.
It's true. You know, it's like driving.
She calls 911 so many times that you can just listen to what's going on in her house.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, you've actually been given access to conversations. I mean, look at the stuff she said about, again, John Coe. How do we know, for example, what they keep in a bottle in the shed? Because Michelle told us. She told us about remains out there. She told us about John. So when they're saying, oh, no conversations, they don't have them out there. Well, Michelle has conversations with the police and everything else about these folks. So, yeah. Because Snake said so. Slithering Snake. Slithering Shara Snake. Okay. So they
That's
straight
not gonna
up.
catch on. Stop trying to make slithering snake a thing. It's not going to work.
You have
I already have the
Snake
the
chorus.
copyright on snakes and snake chorus, and that is reserved for snaky lawyers, I will have you know, and it goes like this.
Precious. 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 Slither, slither, snake. That got me there.
And I have snakes for hair, okay?
Yeah,
I am the sitting expert on all things snaky. I know, and it is not Shara. I wrote an entire Broadway musical on the topic, so I am certified to speak about slithering snake behavior, I'll have you know. And yeah, they are not. Just saying.
And here they threaten her with court. It's going to be hilarious because she is going to get called in court, and she's so afraid of it. She's so afraid of going to court. So, I mean, again,
wait, who's afraid of going to court? Is she talking about Shara?
Shara, yeah.
Oh, I have news for you. Shara is not afraid of going to court. No, she's not. Absolutely not. That's a lie.
She has so much stuff there. I mean, again.
Yeah, no, she's not afraid of going to court at all. She's afraid of weirdos stalking her at her house, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she's more afraid of that than she is of going in front of a judge who's going to look at her evidence and be like, oh, yeah, she's telling the truth.
Well, also, you know, the wonderful idea that things were quote unquote privileged. Yeah, you know, you really want all that conversation coming up in a courtroom? Really? All of that wonderful stuff and how everything got it in because when a judge is like, hey, that stuff is actually not privileged. Oh my God, the avalanche that may cause. She is so afraid of Jeremy taking her to court. It's not
false.
even funny.
False. 100% false. She is not afraid of Jeremy at all. At all. She is afraid of Bruce. Definitely. She's afraid of Bruce. He's been threatening her. Jeremy has never threatened her. She's not afraid of Jeremy taking her to court at all.
She said repeatedly that she's afraid of these people. You know?
Yeah, she's afraid of these people who are trying to.
She said she disagrees with him on stuff that's happening town hall wise, but as she's gone through, you know, again, she agrees with Jeremy and thinks that his heart is in the right place. Wait. So yeah, we've seen her own statements on that. That's ridiculous. Then the other one says she needs to be afraid of going to court about divulging information.
Again, a threat. So how do you say she's afraid of Jeremy taking her to court when Jeremy's never threatened her to do that? And yet these two in the next sentence, she needs to be afraid of going to court about divulging information. So in other words, shut your mouth or we are taking you to court. Be afraid. What a shitty thing to say.
Jeremy's got her. Look at this. Jeremy's got her, and now so does Michelle, and those are my words. Actually, are those your words? Because again, even though you're playing the whole we're not PR game,
I don't even understand.
She's trying to. Those are my words, though. Is the play of I'm not speaking for Michelle. She has.
Oh, I think. Oh, this is. She means Jeremy's got her, and so does Michelle, like in a bind, like in a bind that they both have her over a barrel. No. That's
they both. That's ridiculous. Man.
Actually, nobody has Shara. Nobody has her. She's a free agent, baby.
That goes with you have an email from Bruce because I don't have. I guess you do. She's like someone that stores information and then holds on to it so that she's the one who has all of it.
Smart.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Smart.
Dude, I
Smart.
keep records like this. The threats and shit that are being made. Yeah, you fuckers take me to court. I've definitely made sure that I've kept statements from BBB. I've made sure that I've kept them from these folks. Oh yeah, 100%. And I've made sure documenting who they represent, PR wise, who they're speaking for, 100 fucking percent. You store it all. You also, just for the sake of covering this, that's the same thing we do. We go in and we've even talked about it. There's so much stuff in this. This is so complex that we've talked, hey, you've got this. Am I missing something here? And then we discuss that.
We've had to this is what journalists do. You hold on to all the information, you use it when you need it. Yep. There's no point. What would be the point of a journalist collecting reams and reams of information and just releasing it all without organizing it and coordinating a message, like finding out what's your story? I mean, this would be like going to the library and getting a ton of research on a topic and then just handing it in as your paper. You wouldn't do that. You have to go through it. You have to organize it. You have to put your story in order, and then you have to go somewhere with it, and you have to drop it when it's appropriate. And you have to weed out what's important and what's not. This is a silly criticism.
And meanwhile, everything she has, we just went and got. So somebody took care of it. And so we don't need whatever she was trying to hold and some type of evidence to gain whatever she was trying to gain. And now what she's done is she's used that to gain the praise of Tug and Megan and all their followers to build up her YouTube channel. Yes, by the way, if you would like to subscribe, make sure 100% that you subscribe to Shara's channel, 100%, because apparently
I would like to see her surpass the hate channel subscription numbers.
I mean, they're butthurt about it. You can see the statement there and then later, but also here's a very telling statement too. So they just now got a hold of information, the stuff that the Freedom of Information Act requests. So all of the documentation that she's talking about, which we can reference, by the way, we've been referencing items here, they don't know about. They're telling us point blank they haven't read the documentation. They're just out there spouting PR.
They didn't even watch the Ohio court footage. They didn't even listen to the Ohio court proceeding, and yet they sit there and talk about it like they know what the hell they're talking about.
PR, man. I'm telling you. We had a channel here since 2017, but she did not. And we use Michelle. Go right ahead. I'm pretty sure that you're going to be added to the many lawsuits that are about to come with all the people who have done this to her and following the steps that
I'm sure the court's going to look real favorably.
Oh yeah, all these fucking threats
on all that vexatious litigation.
No, not just that. All the threats that have been made. There's transcripts of every fucking thing you've done. Everything out there. So all the fucking.
And by the way, the transcripts are made as soon as it's out of your mouth. So there's no deleting. There's no
dirty deleting. No dirty deleting. I like that terminology, right? So it's all there. And taking on what he's doing to a family, and you started doing it yourselves to them. So BBB, and this is Shara, your PR aimed words at me like warning and phrase like she needs to be afraid of are fully documented. So Shara's like, hey, I'm documenting this there. And she noted it here. This is documented and making sure that it's there too. Mm-hmm. The frame plans, your PR, disgust, and accusations against me, an innocent person, are fully documented. Wow, the frame plans, that's not good either. It's interesting.
I don't think that means untreated fence panels. Not referring to that untreated wood fencing.
Oh, you made it like some redneck version of the cask of a Montalado. They're going to put her in the fences. You're like, no. Oh my gosh. It's the Otter Creek Poe. Oh, Lord. It's interesting. Your client told me all along she was being framed by Jeremy, when all along she's doing it to me and others. And I will continue documenting all of the ongoing threats publicly for my safety. I'm afraid of you and your team. Again, made it very
there we
clear.
go. There it
Yep.
is.
And the other part, I am not afraid of Jeremy or Kurt with Jeremy.
And the
There.
chat was pointing out that Jeremy had said at one time that he would sue her. The reason, but she's not scared of it, is what I'm saying, and what she's saying. She's not scared of that because she does not believe she's done anything that would have any problem there.
Not just that. She's not saying that she's afraid of them taking her to court. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
what
not
she
that.
said.
It's not the court that she's afraid of. Absolutely not. She wants to go to court and tell her story. She said she would be a cooperating witness. She would be fully cooperative. What she's afraid of are the threats from these people.
Yeah, I mean, she's made it pretty clear, and she's saying, my concern is my health, in which you're fully aware as your team terrorizes me for you while you sit back feeding your heartless scene for fame. So, that statement's interesting too. You, like, again, my health is being damaged here. You're fully aware of that as your team terrorizes me for you while you sit back feeding your heartless scene. For you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure when. Okay. See, some of these, see how they jump times.
Mm-hmm.
So give me 1 second. Let me lock in again. Give me a minute. I want to make sure I have to jump around. That's the way
Jeremy.
Way this does.
Jeremy's in the chat. He said, "I said she'd be in court. I didn't say I'd sue her." Right. I think what he'd said was he was going to subpoena her, and she's saying, "And I will be a cooperating witness." So that is a lot different than saying, what they are saying, which is we're going to take you down and watch your back and all of that nonsense.
We're going to be filing 1 million court cases. You better watch yourself. I'm going to get you, precious.
What?
I mean, seriously. Here's another one here, too. So, BBB, the following is a quote from your PR duo. So I like that she's quoting people, and again, that you see, this is mixed in. Like I said, I jumped over this because you can see the way that Facebook lovingly does this.
So annoying.
This is all I'm doing is pulling up new posts, and there's much newer ones than this. But again, I'm picking up where I left off yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So the following is a quote from your PR duo. That person, that shart person from the get-go, we kept saying there is no shart here. Anyway, she started a bunch of shit because she flip-flopped to Jeremy's side of things for the second time. Yes. So apparently her having a problem, by the way, talking about publicly that she didn't want somebody offing dogs and that she had a concern about melatonin, that was apparently flopping or flip-flopping to the other side. Isn't that weird? You would think like the average person would be like, it's bad to try to off somebody's dogs. That's bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't plot to poison dogs or whatever the plan was. It's not a good idea. No.
Yeah. Most people would agree with that. That's not a sign. That's just kind of a universal thing. Most of us would say. But hey, what do I know, right?
Well, except in Haiti, I guess, but never mind.
Well, now she's gone and showed private messages between her and Michelle. Private messages between Bruce and her, which she's on the legal team. And that's just wrong, right? So that could be a violation. Oh, it definitely is. Because here's the funny thing. I have said, I've seen these, right? What she's referring to. She made some kind of comments right here. Okay, so the messages are privileged. Like, okay, they've seen them.
Well, how could they have seen them and they're still privileged?
Yeah.
As far as I know, I don't think there are any communications between Shara and the XXLs. So if they've been shown these messages between Shara and Michelle and Bruce, then they were shown allegedly privileged messages. Well, then they're not privileged anymore. What the hell is this guy doing? Like, I can't follow. I mean, I'm fine with it. Go on with your bad self, Bruce.
Yeah. Why are you bringing other people into privilege, though? Period. Why would you do
can't
that?
do that. You should. That's lawyer 101. You know this. You know that you cannot bring third parties into a privileged conversation and it remain privileged. You can't do that. That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. But okay, if you think that's how it works, I'm all right with it. We'll see how it works out.
She's making comments, so we know she's watching. Oh, we've got new names for her now. Dirty Deleter. That's not even creative. Come on, better than that. You gotta have something better. So we're going through that. But I have the original stuff before she deleted it. Okay, so
publish it.
Well, not just that. Again, I thought all the stuff where she's dirty deleting, isn't that all privileged?
I don't know. I can't tell what they're talking about.
I mean, I thought everything was, again, they're conversations here and there, but apparently she's supposed to be dirty deleting through it again. How did they have these? Oh no.
This is so bizarre.
But this is what's hilarious. She thinks when I said that I meant I had Bruce's emails between him and her, and that I don't need them. Why? Because Bruce is a lawyer. Bruce doesn't need me to get his emails to put together for evidence. He's got them. He's a lawyer. You know what I mean? She was on the legal team.
No, she was not on the legal team. She was not under a contract. You can't just say to someone, you're on my legal team now, especially to a journalist, and then expect that locks down their ability to be free and write their story.
Holy shit. You know how many lawyers I've talked to about different things and cases? Could you imagine one of them pulling that bullshit? Like with you, you've talked to many a lawyer, and they'd be like, but you can't say anything about this, Megan, because you're on the legal team.
They never say that to me. What they do say, if they don't want what they do is watch their mouths. When I talk to lawyers about cases, I try to pry stuff out of them all the time. And when they don't want me to have some information, guess what they do? They don't say it.
Yep. That's it. I've it's a dance. It's a dance. You're trying to fill in an accurate picture because somewhere between what everyone is saying. Sometimes a lawyer is spot on and they'll tell you like bluntly what's going on because they 100% have the truth. But oftentimes you're trying to sift through everything and see what exactly is there. Maybe they don't have all of the truth. They're telling the truth on something, but they don't have everything, but they have more than you do. You're trying to find that out. And, I'll talk to lawyers that I know have lied about something, and 100% I'm trying to dig out some freaking truth out of them. Ugh. So she's sadly mistaken when she's making the comment that, if he showed them to me, they're no longer privileged or something. She's sadly mistaken because I've never seen any of Bruce's emails. As a matter of fact, the only thing I've seen is when she put them on a video and then gave them to Megan and Tug.
No, I grabbed them off that video, just like you did.
Yep, I think I'm...
Dumbass.
That's funny.
He's such a dumbass. These people are just dumbasses, and I can't wait until we never have to mention it again.
Oh, see, I find this to be absolutely hilarious because this is the PR thing for someone. This is the worst fucking PR I've ever seen.
This is worse than Shane Communications, if you can believe that. And Shane Communications was the worst PR effort for Amber Heard I ever saw in my whole damn life.
Shit. They call her Germs Mole again here. So
again, we showed you that ruling from the appellate court about what you can and cannot say about journalists, and saying untrue things, even to a public figure, can be seen by courts as defamation. It's defamatory. These people just have no concept of what they should and should not say.
No. It's even worse than that. Remember what actual malice is. They don't care what they're saying. They don't care about the truth there. You either know it's a lie or you don't care if it's a lie. You know, he just
No, it's
say it
because
anyway.
it's probably because they have nothing to lose except those little electric carts they have to ride around the grocery store because they can't
Oh,
walk down
man,
an aisle
I've always wanted to like.
without getting out of breath.
I always wanted to race those. I thought that would be really fun. Yeah. I got I got a guy, like we were talking about Toys R Us. I knew a guy that worked at Toys R Us, and he when they were cleaning up at night, we got to race on those big bouncy balls, that had the little like the little horse mount on the front. Yeah, we got to race around Toys R Us on those ones. That was pretty awesome. That was in the days before you recorded
That is
everything.
literally a scene from Big.
Yeah, well, we did it. We were like, hey, that's fun. It was awesome. Maybe that's why we did it. Maybe we were like, hey, we saw
Maybe.
this in a movie. I don't know, but it was fun.
No, I've done that too in a store. Believe me, we've also. I think we've all done that, which is why it ended up in a movie.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool though, having somebody working there and not
Yeah.
having to fear anybody, like any ramification for it. Let's do it. But yeah, she's absolutely freaking out of her mind. She shared privileged information. Yes, she did. And we tried to warn her not to do that, didn't we? but she thought, she's got that ego too. Birds of a feather over there. And you know what? I actually think she's Germ's mole this entire time. There's that statement, man. I think she went back and she started being nice. Nice. Okay.
Nice.
With Germ, I think she's been with him all the time.
Well, you're
And
gonna have to prove that. If you say these things, you're gonna have to prove it. Where's the proof of this? I mean, you can throw out a theory and be like, well, I think this is my tinfoil hat theory, but I mean, they keep saying it like it's a fact. And I'd like to know where the evidence is.
And acting like she's Michelle's friend. Michelle, that I think it was the other way around. Like when I look at the communications that she posted, I think that's a way to reel people in. They're your friend. They're your buddy. You care about them. And they care about you. It's like, she's acting like Michelle's friend. And she she is posting all this shit, whatever. And now here's the funny thing. She was waiting for this golden egg, right? For Otter Creek's story. This whole big golden egg so she can go viral. That's what she's been waiting for. Yeah, that was her plan. She knew when this was a nothing of a story, right? I mean, this was just kicking off and she was right there, that everything was going to
like
explode
some tiny town political argument over some water and stuff. Like the chances of that going viral are very slim.
What she did, I believe what she thought was that I think she believed what she was being told, and there was a child that was being utilized as a way to make her believe. And that is a powerful thing. That is very powerful. But the golden egg. That's I saw the golden egg statement. I was like, what the fuck is that about? Now she's done. She's attacked us and joined their side, and she can go viral. They're mad about her getting subs. They're using her, and she's using them to get views or subscribers or whatever. So they are under the misunderstanding that she was working with us. Us? No, I actually don't think she was working with you. I think that she was working on a story, and I think she's been gathering information for a long time. You were under this mistaken impression that she was going to fall in line. So, the bottom line, the bomb online is I could give two shits about any of them, okay? But talk about them. But the one thing I want to clarify, this tug guy who we now call Barney Fife because he sounds like Barney Fife and Gimme Pile.
Oh, Jesus.
Can't listen to it. Man, I'll put a challenge out there.
That's real.
Man. You know what? You get over
That's
10,000
so
subs. Let's see it work.
Let's see who do you think? Somebody look at Tug's sub count right now. And let's compare it to the Hey Channel
Actually,
sub
imagine if I covered on the point stories. You know, if I kept doing that, that's the way you grow. In fact, staying on a story is detrimental. Like I'll lose subscribers because of this. I lose,
Yeah, me
you
too.
know, I lose
I hear from
hundreds
people all the
just
time who are
that.
like, "When are we gonna move on?" But,
It's
you know,
like,
I'm only one person. I mean, I know people do this, like, you know, they do these, like, superficial videos about whatever's in the news today, but it's just not something that I can do. If I'm interested in something, I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna go into it for a long time. You're at 389,000 subs, and they think nobody wants to listen to you. And
here's a
you know what's
threat though.
hilarious?
Wait,
I
wait.
know people who listen to you just to listen to your voice. I know I fall asleep to it a lot. I like that. I like Doug will put me
It's
to
weird.
sleep easy.
It's actually weird to cover a story out of the deep South and to make fun of Southerners. You know, that's a weird thing. I'm sure that'll win over lots of people. You know? What do you think about all those people that you pump up their channels that are from Otter Creek? You know, you pump them up to 300 or 400 subscribers. Like, what do you think they sound like? They sound like they're from the South. You know, but oh well. This is a threat though. He just has an interesting life about him. I've got all kinds of stuff about him. Fascinating. You know, again, threats.
You mean all kinds of stuff that has been on the internet for years?
Oh man, I tell you, you know, what's fascinating about that? Like I said, these people are like, oh man, we've got all this information. You can write us and we can talk about your privacy. So they're telling me, you know, it's personal information, you know, and what's really creepy about that shit is I'm not looking up where they live or anything like that.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, nobody cares where you live in your little mobility scooters. Like nobody cares where you shop and what you do, and like no one cares.
That's creepy, man.
I don't have the time. Even if I was curious, I don't have the time or the energy to find out. And what would I use it for? I certainly am not gonna. I'm not gonna post somebody's address online. I'm not gonna give anybody's personal information. That's ridiculous.
Motivate somebody to come here, though, you're gonna get somebody hurt. That's what's gonna happen, and that's not gonna be good. And you're gonna be the people who do that, you know. So that would be very bad, very bad.
I've got a large German Shepherd and a husband with a temper. So be careful. Careful motivating anybody to come here because they will also get hurt.
No,
and this is just dumb for people to do. It is not something I just wrote that article that I wrote today. You know, what happened to me by having that post go viral about this one thing and this professor that assigned this stupid assignment to my daughter. I had the left screaming at me about being a liar, and I had the right demanding that I dox the professor and expose the school. And both sides were 100% wrong. And in my article, I talk about how this is the wrong way to approach anything. I have a big platform. I'm not going to abuse it by making something that made my daughter upset. I'm going to ruin somebody's life with a click of my mouse. No, I will not. I have a right to talk about things that are happening, you know, in her school or whatever, without going so far as to try to destroy someone else. That is not the way. That is not the way that we bring unity in this country that's so divided. The only way to do that is to have some empathy for people who don't agree with you and be able to treat them like human beings and not do things like this, to not behave this way. And I'm not team cancel mob. I will never be team cancel mob. I will always be on the side of not canceling someone, even if they vehemently disagree with me, because this is freaking America. And you can have your opinions, even if they're wrong and I think they're bad, you can have them. And I'm not going to send a mob after you to hurt you.
Oh, listen to this. This gets even better. So let's listen to the bottom of this. Who is Shart? Doesn't Shart mean shit? I've never communicated with her. She gives me the heebies, so she's not someone I would ever communicate with. Just saying. Tuck is going on and on and on. He keeps saying intercepted emails. Oh, so all this private information that ended up with my email box is intercepted? Does that mean I can publicize it now? she's allowed to publicize. You can publicize it. Huh. So threats right there. What video is that from, by the way? You know, she's noting the days that these come up. That is a fucking threat. That stuff right there is a TOS violation. And I'll tell you, like I've said, making threats, this is a fucking threat. I'm going to put out your private information. Private information is talking about addresses, names of family members and shit like that. You know, that ain't a game you want to play, because that shit, you need to refer to your buddy Brucey Bruce and see what he says there. Making threats, period, is pretty fucked up, you know. But this is the kind of stuff, this is what I mean. When we cover a story, you see this kind of stuff when you get really close to the truth. You start seeing people, because they no longer cover a story, they attack you. They go after you. And again, this is a PR team that has fucking communications with client that is being sued federally, that has brought litigation against other people too, and the lawyer that is connected to all of that sits on this channel over and over and over again and laughs about kids choking and how that's funny. So pretty fucked up stuff. That's the kind of stuff that gets you in trouble, though. You know. Also, saying this, this also says that private information like that, are you sharing private information behind things? That's another thing. You might want to preserve that stuff, because if you ever decide that you're going to go forward with it, just telling you right now, preserve that information, because that'll be a problem for you. Yeah. Let's see what else is new here. Trying to see if there's any new ones in that. I think that's the other days. Okay, now there's new stuff. Okay, so there's brand new stuff too. Oh man, there's so much good stuff here. Give me 1 minute. I want to make sure I've caught everything right up to date in my captures. So I'm rolling back through, making sure I pull this up, and to make sure it's, again, brand new. Newest comments first. All right, yeah, so as of 8 hours ago, that's actually when Shara has been posted. Give me 1 second here. I had to close out. I have 2 of these open. All right, so you can see, like I said, Shara is documenting this stuff, but also, again, you can tell, like, a lot of this is, there also, it's not going to be right in order. This is just the way that that Facebook, actually, maybe I should read it backward like that, because it'll go oldest to newest.
God, I hate the way Facebook is formatted.
I know. Like, I'm trying to.
Twitter is so much easier.
Now, we saw the cussing, slandering. We saw that yesterday. She notes, she also noted, I missed this, you know, I missed the comments that were coming in. You know, I missed there were more comments. You see how many comments get added? You know, when she's like, hey, what about that interview about me? You know, why didn't you let it all ride? Did you call me a C again? I missed that there are like so many comments that are popping up underneath this stuff too. So November the 13th, 2024. Did the coughing chorus. The coughing
chorus. Yup, that's exactly what it is. We need to make a snake chorus, but in coughing.
It's hard to do.
It is hard to do. Coughing and singing at the same time is very difficult.
Oh my God! Now I need a throatless lunch so I can. So on there, did the coughing chorus get a zip from Boss Man? He's trying to zip me too on my own story. Zip your mouth. That's what it sounds like. He's trying to zip me too on my own story. Yep. He's crashing into. They sure did step deeper into illegal territory. November the 12th, etc. Fully documented. BBB, the rhythm, the rhythm of your team talkers tells the world in volumes who they are backing and you can't take it back. That's true. That's true. There's no take backsies. Yeah.
No takesy backsies.
Yep, indeed. Man. BBB, you cannot dictate legal threats / commands on me. Now, this is actually in response to the post that we saw. In fact, maybe I should pull that up while we're give me 1 minute. And just in case, I think maybe that should be included. You know, the screenshot. Give me 1 minute. You know, that screenshot that they posted in their community tab of
the legal advice.
Yeah, but give me 1 minute. God, this thing, I freaking hate Facebook. Here we go. Okay, so it's this one. This is what she's referring to. Any email Shara received or exchanges while being part of the legal team would be under client attorney privilege, especially those exchanged between her and the client / and or attorneys. That includes private chat messages and conferences. So this is what she's referring to there. Now give me a minute. I have to do so much. I like bouncing back and forth. That's why I hate this thing. It's worth it though. I mean, you want to be completionist in this. Oh, here we go. There it is. I thought about opening 5 or 6 of these, but I was like, man, if she posts anything while I'm covering it, it'll really make a mess of it. She says, BBB, you cannot dictate legal threats / commands on me, especially in light of your own activity, as well as your full support of the First Amendment. That's fascinating too. Is this yet another lawyer that fully supports the First Amendment? You know, we ran into one of those already. Yeah, you know, I love the First Amendment. I'm a First Amendment lawyer. Unless you say something I don't like, then we're going to sue the pants off of you. If you call me an ambulance chaser or anything else, it's no longer. Yeah. Regarding my recorded audio interviews or my case file I collected independently beginning long before you arrived, harming me after using me is not a good look. That's true. That's very true. That is a bad look. If nothing else out of this is a very bad look, because if a journalist decides this is the truth of something and you decide to train wreck their lives, you know, that's their attempt anyway. That really looks bad. You're talking about how do you think media? They keep talking about they want media to cover this. How do you think journalists would feel about what we're documenting right here?
Oh God, I mean, no one would agree. No journalist would agree to be quiet in the face of threats like this. I'm sorry, but they wouldn't.
I think this would be its own story.
It would be its own story.
Part. Yeah, because I mean, lawyer
attempts to extort and blackmail me out of telling the truth. You know, I mean, this is not good. It's not good.
She says, I did not change this story. Your client changed this story by lying to me, an independent journalist, covering all sides of the story from the start. And your 2L terrorizing trio made it all make sense and helped to create the urgency. So that's interesting. Your client lied to me, but these people right here, they're the ones that actually made it all make sense to me and helped me see the urgency here. They created the urgency. That's fascinating. Oh, man. Your client's own words to me, as well as onto a police record, are what I must report due to concerns in a high-profile story. As you called it. Again, yes, called that. That is a public concern, so you cannot dominate the purpose of my evidence, as the evidence will speak for itself. You cannot hold me accountable for going with the truth and protecting the innocent, nor can you silence my concerns for the child anymore. As you know, I have the heart emoji of a lion emoji for victims. So you know that the day you crashed into my story, yeah, there's the thing too. If she's been here all along, right? Wouldn't they be the ones crashing into her story?
Yeah.
I mean, they try to make it, they keep talking about she was never part of our team. Isn't it fascinating too? We kept hearing about how she was never connected to, them or this or that, but yet she's part of the legal team. I keep getting conflicting information. What is she? What's the narrative? Because I cried to you with my concerns and you screamed at me in return. Oh, wow. I cried to you with my concerns and you screamed at me in return. Huh. That's crazy. I gave my heart on lies. I will never be responsible for your client's actions. So the only quote unquote questionable privilege window that exists due to my inability to understand law is beginning the end of the first week in June to August 17th. I feel tricked into this position. Evidence I published will have date stamps. Everything I collected on this case was always with good intention. So she's telling you there's a time frame that she's not going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Well, not yet anyway.
Yeah,
that might change. Who knows?
Well, right there, she's saying, hey, this, even outside of that window, she also says, somebody says, ask a lawyer, just make sure. And if you're not bound by anything, nail the model across, but protect yourself first. And she just says, it's only questionable for now. It will be revisited legally. Mm-hmm. That's there. Yeah. Talk to a lawyer. That's the smart way to play, for sure. Always protect yourself. So, wow, 3 hours deep in, 3 hours in. Sorry, Shara. November 13th, 2024.
Yeah, I feel sorry for all the people sending all the clips. Like they're listening to all of these hours of, it's just, it wears on you after a while.
Well, she's, again, she's documenting threats and good for her because she's picked up some threats, not just toward her. It's fascinating to see them written out here. 2L1 is reporting new privileged Ohio conference update scoops while making another false public accusation about me relating. Wait, so they're saying they have scoops on the...
Wait a minute. New privileged Ohio conference update scoops?
I'm curious about that. That'll be something to follow up on too. Because I'd love to, if there's something being shared again from legal team put out to totally not a PR team, right? Mm-hmm. They are cheering the details BBB brought to the judge in the Ohio contempt case and quote unquote YouTube content. Does the judge...
Bruce can't bring anything to the judge in Ohio. He's not the lawyer on that case.
He's tied into all the legal teams. I wonder about how it overlap, and
I guess he's communicating with the Ohio lawyer on the case.
Yeah,
but and I know what this is regarding. They think that it's a big deal that the video, the 10 feet video, wasn't shown in the Ohio court for whatever reason, and they're trying to get that shown or revisited to have it overturned. But the weird part is, to me, I don't think it's possible because they missed their window to appeal, and deadlines in courts mean something. So I don't know what kind of approach they're going to take to get more evidence in front of a case that is closed and the appeal time is up. But I would be very surprised if there was a way to do that. Here's
a question on that too. If they want to present more, right? If they want to go about that, it would be fascinating to. Again, there was a certain video talking about a pew pew, and then after that, again, it was not followed up on because you had the prosecuting attorney decide not to update it, but you had a lot of information about somebody going to jail about pew pew, so I wonder if you really want to open all these doors up. I wonder what you could bring in and what might look really, really bad since that date. Does the judge know about BBB's big Scoop for Fame marathon YouTube gig. Doesn't this scoop make 2L1 a legal team member / PR? PRF up. PRF up. Wow, more lawsuit threats against innocent YouTubers. I'm confused. So let me get this straight. 2L1 can cover this case all night long, defaming the world 24/7. Yeah. Blah, blah. But no one else can cover this high profile case of public concern. Is that some eco BS?
Some eco BS.
It's funny. Wow.
That is what they want us to believe.
Yeah, that's essentially been it. And other people, you can invite other journalists on as well. That was actually a major screw up too, including all of our channels there. And telling journalists, hey, you need to get on this, by the way.
Yeah, Bruce invited me to cover John's arrest when it was, or his when his charges were dropped, and I did cover it. Thank you for inviting me in. Now that I needed your permission, but you know, it's really weird how he's like, stop talking about my clients, and then on the other hand, it's why aren't you talking about this about my clients?
Why aren't you talking about my clients?
This guy is not. He may be vicious and he may be ruthless, but in my opinion, he's not very intelligent.
It's weird. Well, and again, there was that letter we were all attached to for the Law 360, you know, that attempt to bring in a journalist where Shizzy, my favorite thing, by the way, I keep forgetting about this, was, again, Shizzy being added to the whole mac and cheese debacle. That's probably my favorite thing that has happened. And, since you've been covering this,
copying Shizzy on the Connecticut bar people that Bruce has been harassing for God knows how long, it's just too funny. And I'm sure that they had such a laugh when they read his reply all. I can't even imagine.
I mean, I was like, are you kidding? Why would you do that? By the way, if you missed that for some reason, did an interview with Shizzy, and it was amazingly funny.
It's so funny.
Wow, the background sidekick on the show said, whoa, now it's all going to come to light. I agree, only I won't be publishing scoop. I will be publishing receipts. Oh, fun times. fun times. She also asks, hey, you going to sue me for the truth? Why didn't you want it when I tried to give it to you in tears?
Interesting. Good. It's an interesting statement.
Well, it's also interesting too. It's just like the $311 and the question about a breakdown of where all money is gone. What exactly does everything cost? How much money did you bring in? Like, what's it being utilized for? They told her you can't have your money back. So she's like, okay, well, why don't you tell me what my money's actually being utilized for?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they brought that to pass, though. BBB, did you come for fame? But now you want to shut it all down. The rhythm of the public pushes the truth over the eco BS. That's actually a very true statement, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Shara is an interesting person, and she has an interesting way of looking at stories and seeing, she says this a lot, the rhythm of the public, which I've never heard before, but I know exactly what she means. Watching, it's like basically like watching trends, watching the public and where the public is going with the story. That is part of doing journalism. You're watching the reactions of the public too.
Well, we've also seen an ecosystem built in mainstream media, in cases we've covered a few of them, when it's all the mainstream, because you're not really telling, when you say all the mainstream, it sounds crazy. But when you think, hey, that's really only 3 companies we're actually talking about that are publishing through 25 freaking different places. So those 3 companies, they all seem to agree on a narrative, and they seem to think they control the flow of information, only to have people like you, I, or whomever, the public.
Can't stop the signal.
That's right, Mal.
Can't stop the signal.
Oh, I like that.
They can try. They can
Yep.
try, but you can't stop the signal. There will always be another one. There will always be a way to get around the tyrants and the censors.
The First Amendment you stand on, or you stand for, rather, belongs to us all. That's indeed true, too. It cannot be selected, just like evidence in a case. It all counts. That's true, too. You cannot take this story from the world. Your case is a high-profile story with public concern. Yes, very much so. And there's one other statement here. This catches us up here. A new low for the two L's, showing their two heartless crew discussing a non-party, heartbreaking family loss with snide remarks toward a grieving woman. Was BBB in the background? Attendance as always. I have no idea what that's about, but that doesn't sound nice either.
Nope. No, it doesn't.
Shara's been very entertaining because Shara has decided to stand up for herself. And she hasn't picked up a microphone yet. I'm going to say yet because I'm sure, again, this is my own opinion. After you collect everything, you decide what's out there. That's when you start picking up the microphone. But she's picking up the microphone in a different way. She's writing it all out. Again, it's very entertaining. And it has been fun to actually look at it, the cover.
Yep.
So many threads, man. So many threads.
And I think, she's working on something new. And she's planning on having it out tomorrow.
Ooh, baby.
So keep an eye out on her YouTube page. If you're not subscribed over there on Shara's YouTube page, you might want to do that.
Let me look
and turn on those notifications.
I want to see where she's at. I want to see where her subscriber count is at. Let's see. Here you are. Oh, she's at 1.59K, by the way. So let me drop this in the comments. Give me 1 second. I find it funny. Like, she's built up. It's making them very mad. You can tell they do not like the fact that she actually is picking up subscribers. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pin her YouTube channel to the top of the chat. If you have not subscribed to it, you definitely should, just because the anger, and there's a lot of anger apparently because they're spending a lot of time talking about Shara. It's also a lot of fear, a lot of damage control. It's fascinating to see them walk back the PR statement, though. That, of all things, I thought was a very telling statement, because when we were talking about that, you notice you can tell people have been tuning in and listening, because when you and I were talking about this, we said, that's really bad. You are saying that you're the voice of that client. Again, media, what the hell's media ecosystem. You have, again, PR team, client, talking to them, fishing for stuff, trying to give it to that. You have the freaking lawyer for this person sitting on the same channel. It looks really bad. It looks like it looks really bad.
I mean, we have how long have we covered court cases, Tug? How long?
Oh Lord, I've been covering hardcore since 2019 publicly. That doesn't count like just keeping up with stuff, sticking my foot in and actually, going for it.
I've been covering court cases for almost 20 years, started in family court and then moved on to other court trials and whatnot. I have never, ever, not once in all this time, seen a lawyer do what Bruce is doing. I've never seen it ever. I've also I've talked to my sister, who's a lawyer, been a lawyer for at least 20 years. I've talked to, and then I asked her boss, who's been a lawyer for longer than that, probably 40 years. Nobody has seen this kind of behavior. When I tell lawyers, hey, check out what this guy's doing, here's what he did, they're like, what? He's a lawyer? Are you sure? That That's the kind of response I get from lawyers when they see what this guy is doing. Nobody has seen anybody do this.
I'm just baffled by the whole idea of privileged information. I mean, that has opened up this monstrous can of worms too. We see a lot of walk back on that too. Oh, by the way, we've seen the emails. We know she's a dirty deleter. She's not telling you everything in this privileged stuff. Well, but by the way, we don't have any of that. Wait, what? What does that mean? I don't know. I'm gonna hit some super chats. You sticking around for super chats?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some funny ones. I also start a comment about somebody wrote about Shizzy. You've got to read it. So good.
Okay. Wanda, thanks for the 20, kicking it off there. Hey, Tug, Megan, how the fife are you two? Man, we are fifing well today. I love that, by the way, Dead Punk. I plead the fife on that question. Oh, man. Sue, thanks for the 5. There's no fifing way to continue without laughing, so get ready. Oh, that snake chorus. Oh my God, that snake chorus. That really gets stuck in my head. I'm gonna have it stuck in my head all day long tomorrow.
What chorus? You mean this one?
How the evidence precious. I'm gonna be singing that all tomorrow. I'm gonna be making that. I hope I don't sing that out loud and be like precious. Maybe like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Sea-Girl, by the way. Thank you. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much there. I appreciate that. Love gifted memberships. They are amazing. Thank you. SF, thanks for the 2. What the fife is going on here? Oh, I'm telling you, we're going to put that on a shirt, man. We're going to put that freaking thing on there. Come on. Like I said, lean right into it. That's what you got to do, man. Squishy. Squishies, squishy.
Squishy, squishy.
I love it. Thanks for the butt there. No statement. Man, reading your name was fun.
Squishy, squishy, squishy.
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 Alec, thanks for the 2. Monochrome Fife Life. And Megadusa Fox. Megadusa.
Oh, I should change my name. That's funnier. Hold on.
I love it.
There we go.
I love it all.
Megadusa. Perfect.
Megadusa Fox. I love it. Wendy, thanks for the 5 there. Yes. Tug, Fife, and Megalodon. Let's go.
So funny.
At, what does it say?
Ampersand.
Oh, ampersand. Yeah,
shift to that umbrella guy. It's David Gingrass. He's trying to learn. Right. He's trying to learn YouTube. At ampersand shift to that umbrella guy. We are in the same sandbox now. Hashtag breadsticks.
Man, when I was, yeah. What's funny is he should have done videos all along. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
I just hope
he's way more palatable in person.
Yeah, it's more personable. The thing is, when people were watching it and stuff, I hope to God they remember what they're tuned into and what, again, those people represent. We saw it play out in court. It doesn't matter the spin. In fact, I do like the fact that they're locking their narratives in. Like that seems crazy to me. But hey, who am I?
It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it
yes, very much so. Oh, we'll see what we Terry D, thanks for the 5 bucks. Finished watching it live today, talking about Mayberry. Funny, my maiden name was Mayberry. Mayberry. But got called Mayberry RFD all the time. That's hilarious. Mayberry. Oh, love it. Love it. Sicky Widget. Thanks for the 5. Oh, I'm going to use, speaking of dog shit, for every in every conversation from here on out till I get fired. That's
That might have
beautiful.
been the greatest segue of all time.
Uh,
Speaking of dog shit, it's like you planned it, you know? Like you got this
uh,
dog shit story in your back pocket just for that segue. Now I'm starting to wonder if that even happened. Nobody actually walked into your classroom with dog shit all. You made that up, like the wolf story where you died. I
yeah.
know how you operate. I am gonna do that next time. I'm gonna make up a story just for the segue.
You got to
that I
tell
come up
stories to your kid, like when your kids are like, "Tell me a story from your childhood." You tell them about how you were attacked by wolves and they killed you.
I died. I didn't die.
I love telling. I mean, you know, make it like really, really dramatic too. Like tell it 7 minutes long story. They get to the end of it. Oh, how did it end? Oh yeah, I got attacked by these wolves. They cornered me and I died. You know, you didn't die. Oh yeah. It happened.
I did. I surely did.
Yep, 100%. Man, Bear, Pig, thanks for the 5. Michelle can afford PR. But again, she did fund some Puerto Ricans. PR's PR, right? Yeah, I guess that works out. SF, thanks for the 5. Megan, I'm not an asshole. Also, man, we call them double XLs. What a five.
That's why Tug
What
had
that
to
pipe.
qualify that statement that I'm not that kind of asshole. I'm definitely an asshole, but not that kind of asshole.
Oh, indeed.
I will
Allie,
call you names. I will absolutely do that. I'm that kind of asshole.
thanks for the 2. 2 XLs, 1 cup of dews. Oh, gross.
Gross.
Don't
Oh
accidentally
no, I'm
drink
never
out of
gonna
it.
sleep again.
Rider Chick, thanks for the 5. I'm my own target audience too. Indeed, yes. If you can make yourself laugh with something, that's what matters. You know, everyone else when they're looking at you like, "What's wrong with that?" That's the dumbest joke ever. You're like, I thought it was funny. And like Megan, I crack myself up all the time. I think I'm the funniest person I know. LOL.
It's a good way to live. It's a good way
Yes.
to be.
Yes. If you can't entertain yourself, you can't entertain anyone else.
Mhm.
Sticky Widget, thanks for 5. Raise your hand if you've ever woken up from a drunken stupor at 3 a.m. to the dulcet tones of the test pattern. Yes, indeed.
Well, I can't say that I ever did that drunk because I was a child, but I do remember falling asleep and then waking up to the
You're like, I was drunk in this sugar coma.
yeah, in a sugar coma maybe. Although my mother hid all the she didn't allow sugar in the house. She called it poison. My mother was the RFK Jr. before RFK Jr. When it came to food and processed things. We weren't allowed to have any of it. It was a sad childhood in those respects because all my friends had bags of Doritos and I had like some kind of weird nutty things from the health food store. And back in the day, the health food store was not like Whole Foods. It was like a hole in a strip mall that was run by the sick looking vegans, and that like in the 80s there was just hardly any of them. And the snack aisle, you know, there were like 3 barrels of questionable things, and you just
they made themselves. You're like,
yes, that they're like honey sticks and carob chips. They were awful, awful, but that's what we were allowed to have. The kids on the bus used to call us birdseed. That was our nickname, birdseed.
Birdseed.
Yeah, because the snacks that my mom gave us looked like it was trail mix, and nobody ate trail mix back then. And so they would call it looked like birdseed because there were sunflower seeds and things in it. They here comes birdseed. Yeah.
Man, speaking of like, you know, shows that used to come out, I remember when I was really little. Have you ever seen that movie Empire of the Ants, where the giant ants, you know, it's like an older freaking movie.
I remember. I can see it in my head, but I don't remember anything about it except the giant ants.
Well, when I was a little kid, I saw that, and you know, it takes place in Florida, like these giant ants.
Of course, it does. All bad things happen in Florida.
Florida man, you know, a Florida man actually beat them too. But my grandparents were in Florida at the time, and I was so terrified because I was little. I was like, "Oh my God, this is real! This is real! There are giant ants, Granny, watch out! The seashells aren't worth it."
The Journey to the Center of the Earth, the one that was made with the really bad, you know, the one I'm talking about with Rex Harrison.
Oh my God!
And it had the giant iguana scene. Where there's these giant, or maybe they're not iguanas. What are the poisonous ones that can eat you? in the Galapagos Islands.
The gosh, man, you would ask me this.
What are they
A
called?
Gila monster.
A Gila monster. Yeah. So those things they had those things, but they made them look really, really big. You know, I thought those were real. I was sure that if you went into caves anywhere in this country, you were going to come out on a beach somewhere, and there would be giant dinosaurs and Komodo dragons and Gila monsters that were 10 times their normal size to eat you. But
I've just been given the funniest thing in the world. I'm trying to take a picture of it, but I don't know if I can get it. Oh my gosh.
Squid raid. It's a squid raid. Hello, squid raiders.
Squid raiders. I was given a bracelet. You know how kids make you bracelets and stuff? And the bracelet, because I've been making jokes about that umbrella fife, all day long.
Yeah.
With pictures. It says Tug Fife on it. No joke.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm trying to get a good picture of it, but I can't over here in the dark.
You need to. Welcome to Mayberry, baby. It's Tug Fife.
Living the Tug Fife.
Living the Tug Fife.
I love it though. It's funny, like that's supposed to be an insult. I'm like, man, I'll adopt that all day long.
I know Barney Fife was the best.
He was the bomb, man. He was all about law enforcement, not shooting yourself in the foot. I'm all about that,
Totally.
Exactly. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can get a good picture of that, and not very good picture. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to send it over to myself. I'm going to pull this up here. It's awesome. This will take me a second, but it's worth it.
All right,
man.
I'll give you a musical interlude while you're waiting.
A musical interlude. Oh no! It's like you're summoning evil.
Please hold. One of our operators will be with you shortly.
Oh,
you are holding on That Umbrella Guy's stream. Welcome to the Tug Fight.
Press 1 if you'd like to be connected to Ipanema. I know. Okay, now this is a terrible picture, all right? Because I'm just taking this like on the fly here. I'm trying to. It's dark in here, so let's see.
You're still not done? Okay.
No, I got it right here. It's right here.
Press 2 if you would like to be connected.
Check it out. You can see it here, like up at the top. It says TUG Tug FIFE.
Oh my god, that is great.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. Does it fit?
It does. It's got those stretchy strings on it.
Oh, that's beautiful. So cute. I love it. And it's 80s colors. Look at it. It's black and white checkers and turquoise and rainbows. It's perfect.
Man, I'm going to be rocking that for show.
Oh my god. I love it. I want one.
I love it.
I want one.
The kids are all like, man, gotta make some bracelets. And I'm like, all right.
I love the color choices. I absolutely love it.
I just love the fact that that's become even a joke in the house.
Tug Fife.
Sue, thanks for that. The 5 there. The 70s and 80s were the best time of TV and toys. That's why I watch What the Hales. Indeed, they have some fascinating stuff. They end up with all kinds of cool stuff. That's why. I like people going through storage units. It's not just what did you find? It's a reminder of what was back when.
It's like a time capsule.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shirley, thanks for the 49th wedding anniversary. I get to spend it here laughing. Hey, props to you, man. 49th wedding anniversary. That's amazing. Love that you're here.
Yeah, that is awesome. 49 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes, very much so.
Great work.
Yeah, that's it's amazing these days. You see in the time of 8-second freaking videos and 12-second relationships, where relationships online age in dog years. Yeah. That's really good. It is, man.
Really
like friendships in here, they age in dog years. If you've been a friend with a person for say 3 or 4 years, ooh, man, you have gone through a lot. Richard, thanks for the 5. F Amazon for Rings of Power. What did you? Oh God, I don't want to get started on that. Yeah, not at all. Give me 1 second. Hold it down for 1 second.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. So, how's it going, folks? How you doing tonight? Tug Fife, please pick up the call on the red courtesy phone. You know what else was weird and funny about back then when no one had cell phones is that you would literally get a call in a restaurant. Like we would call our parents when they were out to eat, and the restaurant would go bring them a phone or tell them, "Ma'am, you have a call that has come in. Are you Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so? There's a call for you at the front desk." Because
Yeah.
do you remember that? Like
Yep.
your parents would go
Well,
out.
no
Like,
cell phones. Yeah.
yeah, you could just call the restaurant where they were, and they would like go get them and put them on the phone. That's what it was like back then.
Oh,
It was
man.
really hilarious.
When I was a teenager, I went to visit my grandparents for some holiday. I can't remember which one it was, but I filled up the car, because it's gonna be a long drive. When I filled it up, we got sometimes you'll get like debris and gas, and it can mess up your car, mess up the filtration. So my car started having problems. Got out on the interstate, and it kept dying. And there's no cell phones. So I was like, no, what am I going to do? So a trip that should have taken like, I think about 2 hours. It took like 7 to get home because there's no way to call anybody.
My mom had a CB.
Did she?
So yeah, I remember.
And I
one
could have
time,
used it then.
yeah, we had a blowout on the highway, and she just used the CB and called for help. And truckers called, I don't know, roadside assistance or whatever. And before that, though, a semi actually pulled over and like protected our car. So
That's
that
awesome,
was
actually.
yeah. We used to play on the CB all the time. The truckers would talk to us and stuff. It was fun.
Sticky Widget, thanks for the 2 there. Got to pop smoke. Have fun, all you fifers. Indeed. And by the way, Richard, I didn't mean to make light of your Ring of Power statement. I will just get off on a tangent about that. I have to get it.
We'll be headed into hour 3
yes.
if we go there.
Hour 7. I know. Dan, thanks for the 10. Racketeering. Now, dishonest and fraudulent business dealing. Racketeering ensnared the economy. Racketeering. There are a lot of interesting words I've been learning these days. Either words that have been misused, by certain people out there, or words that may be applied to some of the things that they've done. We shall see.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up, Skipper? How you doing? Thanks for the 2 there. They have the strategic forethought of Dory.
Dory the fish.
Dory, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's about right too. That fits. Yep. Angela Quinn, thanks for the 3 there. Tug with 10 Furbies, laughing so much at that story. Oh no, that one. Have I told you that one?
10 Furbies?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh man, so one time I'm going to say I got very trashed. I'm not encouraging people to utilize substances or anything. Let's just say I was very, very out there. So I was so trashed at the time that I thought I could speak Furbish. Furbies speak Furbish. Like, and when you line up Furbies, they'll talk to each other. They actually communicate with each other. So I put a bunch of Furbies in a circle, and I was just sitting around with them, and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And the other one's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh God, Furby is so funny.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord. What a day that was. Oh, yes, that was a good one. I still have some. I saw the Furbies.
Do you remember what it is they were saying to you?
No, no. But I thought they were. They were the funniest little guys I've ever. I mean, like I said, I was so trashed at the time. I thought I could speak Furbish.
I have something to show you.
Okay.
And I mean, I know we don't normally do this, like play something we haven't watched all the way through, but I think we could just play, because I just listened to like the first 20 seconds. We could definitely play that, and it's exactly what we asked for yesterday. Okay. All right, hold on. Someone has written hard tug fife.
Oh no, it's a hard tug fife.
Yes.
Hey, does it use the Mayberry song? Actually, Is that
It's
copyrighted music?
oh, might be. It's whistling.
Yeah.
It's
We can't.
whistling. We
Yeah.
can't. Oh,
No.
we can't
Yeah.
play
We
it.
won't be able to. We
All
won't be
right,
able to
I
do it.
will take the link and I
Put it.
will
Link it for
drop
sure.
it. I will link
Yeah.
it for you guys. But like, oh,
I
yeah,
know.
right, because it does the
We'll
whistling.
actually play it when we were talking about
Rumble.
our Rumble exclusive. Yeah.
We will play it on Rumble.
Shara has jumped up to 1.67. By the
Oh,
way,
good.
this is growing again. It's at the top of the description if you want to go for it. By the way, Lily, thanks for the 5 there. Shizzy is back to 4K subs tonight. Did he have a momentary loss subs, or because it says back too?
Well, I'll ask him. He was DMing me a second ago.
Follow up on that. Let me know about that one.
You know,
I'm
we're all
curious.
losing subs right now, and I think it has to do with something YouTube is doing.
Well, some of that is. Some of it's I made some innocuous political commentary, and that makes people mad. It doesn't matter what you say.
I did too, but here's the thing. Normally when people leave because they're mad about politics, they announce their exit. They do not just drop off. I've never had anybody do that where they just drop. I mean, maybe a couple, but they don't drop off by the hundreds without saying something and flouncing out the door.
I'm going to say this as carefully as I can because I appreciate people being here, and I'm not ever saying leave. What I'm going to say though is if you're easily offended by something innocuous, I will offend you someday. I will say something, not that you don't agree with, but something that will offend you. And if that's going to be a deal breaker, then that will happen. So sooner or later, that's the thing. Like we can agree on a lot of stuff, but if people can't take any disagreement, then yeah, that'll eventually happen. Save yourself some heartache there. And again, I'm not telling people you're not welcome or anything. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying right off the bat, I tell people all the time, like I will offend you, will offend you for sure.
Yeah,
we will disagree.
For sure. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. And so I always tell people, look, if whatever topic it is bothers you, feel free to just go and come back later when it's a different topic, that we can agree on if it bothers you to that extent. But it shouldn't be something that you break up friendships or family or anything over when you get, you just move on and then you come back at another time.
Well, people should disagree. Like that should happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Unfortunately, these days, and maybe this has been the thing all along, but with disagreement now, we use qualifiers that make the other people monsters, like when we call people Yahtzees, for whatever. I've been called that for social, political, but social too. Like, oh, well, you didn't believe this person in court, you're a Yahtzee, and
crazy.
it's like, man, that's terrible. That's bad. I like this. Skipper says, thanks for the dude. My privacy fence fell down. Oh, it's a good one. Writer chick, thanks for the 5 there. My roommate walked by my room when the snake chorus was playing and wanted to know what the hell I was watching. So hard, I was in tears.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
That's
catchy.
so funny.
They better not listen too long. They'll be like, oh my God, can I get that?
And imagine trying to explain it. What are you listening to? Like, I can't even tell you. Where am I going to start with snake chorus?
I'm gonna test this. Say this very professionally, by the way. Read this.
You mean from Cunning Linguist?
Yeah, yes.
Only Megan could say reams and reams and make it sound professional. I don't get it.
Professional.
Reams and reams. Reams and reams. Reams and
reams.
reams.
And reams. Megalomania 5. Oh, Skipper, thanks for the 2 there. No judge will deny journalist 1A without a contract.
Yeah,
that's
no
indeed
way.
true. Yeah. Even then, again, if they believe that again, there's a plot to take down stuff.
Even if there was a contract, if she thinks there's something illegal, immoral, or unethical going on, that would void it.
I would think building again, you're being included in wanting to take somebody down, wanting to take down multiple YouTube channels, destroying businesses. You don't want to get sued over that shit,
Mhm.
So you're now that's the kind of stuff I announce my exit for. Yo, I'm out. I'm not part of that.
Mhm.
SF, thanks for the vibe. If she isn't working with us, then she isn't on the legal team. That's true. That is very true, because they said he's not working with us. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Connie B, thanks for the 8 months. Tug, my favorite earworm. Sydney, thanks for the 6 months. Not a statement there. 6 months is your own statement. Thank you very much there. Appreciate you. Easy Wheels, thanks for the vibe. Some people need to give their head a wobble and get on with their own lives. Well, you got to remember, again, if somebody has a channel and they're covering something, that's one thing. But if somebody's, again, running PR, I know I drilled this idea over and over again, but PR is totally different. They're not getting on with their lives because that's pretty much what they're doing with their lives. They're running PR for somebody. And they're making money at it. Hey, running this PR. By the way, would you like to buy a gemstone? Would you like to buy a gemstone?
Would you like to buy this ugly rock?
They're very overpriced.
It really won't protect you at all, but we'll say it will.
It'll protect you from the megalodonus. Oh my God, I wonder if they have one for that.
You need to up your energy. So take this rock and put it in your pants.
That is a great statement there. She's the Mercutio of responses to BBB by email. Yes, again.
Isn't that great? The Mercutio.
Yep.
Man, Mercutio is one. What a great reference. Who wrote that, by the way? T. Underwood.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that because that brought me back. There was a time when I had memorized a couple of Shakespeare plays, entire plays, and Mercutio always sent me into fits of laughter. In Romeo and Juliet, Mercutio has this amazing wit. Shakespeare was so amazing. What a great reference. That really brought me back. So thank you. Thank you for that. That was great. I sent that to Shizzy, by the way, so he had a screenshot of that comment because I really thought what a great compliment that was. That was a really great compliment.
Sergeant Mom asks, thanks for 5. Did BBB find his law degree in a Cracker Jack box? I wonder, University of America's Samoa Law School. So you Better Call Saul there.
Yeah. Don't insult Better Call Saul. Saul Goodman was a much better lawyer than Bruce.
Man, I wish I wanted a different ending. I get they wanted a redemption arc, but not gonna ruin the show. But if you haven't watched it by now, it's been around for a while. So
yeah.
Mike, thanks for the 10. I'm going to send some of my tagger buds, make the thing look amazing. Yeah, don't do that. Actually, actually they I think they've tagged it all their own. They've actually put enough signs on it. They're going to make it look like its own fascinating little debacle. So yeah, no, I'm saying that publicly. I know it's a joke because there's laughter at the end, but with litigious assholes out there, we're going to make this statement that nobody's actually saying they'll do that. Yeah. And Mike, thank you for that membership too. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Thugs. By the way, I saw the wood pictures. I really hope they weather treat that shit,
I know it's gonna rot. I
Yeah.
don't think you can put up a fence that's untrue. What are they gonna do? They're gonna leave it. I can't even. I don't want to talk about it. I hope it works out. I hope the fence goes up and is everything they need it to be. But
I was imagining something much bigger, I guess. I
was imagining that they would come with a contractor who would put it up properly and not be sitting out in the weather. There's a hurricane coming, so.
I
hope
guess
those
the materials
fence
and
panels don't end up in the trees and shit. I don't know.
I don't know. I was imagining something else in my mind for the costs. I was imagining something much more, but I don't know. I guess we'll see the finished product. You know?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. OMG, thanks for the 2 there. This guy is giving me anxiety over the roof. Indeed. Indeed.
I have
Ray.
anxiety over the roof.
Woo, she's loud, by the way.
I know.
Your clip is turned up.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Well,
she was
that-
like, oh my gosh.
she just that's how she is.
Yeah,
No matter
that
where
pitch
she
is loud anyway.
Yeah. I'll have to.
Amen.
I have problems with this soundboard sometimes. Not all the buttons are at different sound levels, and no matter what I do, I can't get them to normalize. So it's like a whole thing. I've given up.
Hey Ray, that sent me like, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you earlier on something. Was doing fam stuff. I'll be around. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I figured it ain't a big deal, you know. Photo lady, thanks for the 2. Barney was extremely proud of his one bullet. Yes, indeed, he was. He was very proud of it. Dan, thanks for the 2. The incredible Mr. Limpet. I haven't thought about that in a while either. That's hilarious. Yeah. Janice, thanks for the 10 there as well. I can't remember the name, but a celebrity's husband crawled into a dragon cage and got bit. He was hospitalized for 2 weeks or so due to injuries happened 20 years ago or so. Yeah, those, I mean, they have that toxic, like the bite, you know? I mean, I wouldn't want to crawl in there. Even if they didn't, I've seen videos of them eating like small animals, and it is horrifying.
It is horrifying. Well, if you've ever seen, so the way they kill big prey is to just bite it and then stalk it and wait for it to fall down and
septic
die.
bites. You know?
It is so awful.
No, there's
nature
a horrible
is brutal.
There's a video that comes up on Twitter of it eating like a smaller animal. I don't remember if it's like a goat or whatever, but it's eating it, and you can hear it still inside of the thing because it ate it alive. I was like, oh my God. It's nightmare fuel, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, they're terrifying creatures.
Nature is rough.
Jenny, thanks for the 10 there too. Don 5 Knots was hilarious in The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. It's so funny. Love the organ music playing. It was funny, period. I mean, you know, when you go back and look at some of these folks, like what they managed to do, especially with the content, like how restrictive it was because it had to be, you know, wholesome and friendly in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I loved him. I loved him in Three's Company when he was Mr. Roper.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was hilarious in that.
Slug said, check DMs. I got one of many AI working. I'm gonna look at that and see what's what. Let me see what's up with that. By the way, I'm curious. Oh man. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, this will be interesting. All right, I'll check that out. Like that, I can't do anything with it right this moment, but that might be really interesting. Travis, thanks for tip.
Slug, I'm feeling left out. Why didn't you send it to me? Damn it! Now I just sit here and wait till the end of the show before I can be like, "What did you get?"
No, I'm just gonna cut it off right at the end and disappear and ghost to be like, "Hey, guess what? I got Megan. Oh, it's breaking up. Signal. Sorry." Travis, thanks for the 10. Got to say, from Texas, you and Megan are great. My addiction is done. I still drink because I shit under control and way better. You've been a main thing for me to stop. Glad Megan's involved. Love y'all. Hey, appreciate you, man. I'm glad to hear this stuff, man. Glad, and I'm glad that you've done so well for yourself, brother.
I agree. That's a huge deal to beat that. I'm giving you
5.
I received this on Twitter and I thought it was hilarious. I'm giving Tug Fife a run for his money here. I can also be a country bumpkin cop.
No, you can. What's that now? I took it over. Blah. I got to pull in the deep south. No, you can.
No,
dog will hunt.
No, you can't.
You got to go with all the dog will hunt. over there by the creek in the holler.
Yeah, I can't keep up with all that nonsense. I don't know what any of that means. I can talk Chicago. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh
I got
man, I always
sausage and
love listening to.
pizzas
I had,
and some
I had a
Italian
neighbor.
beef.
He'd be like, anytime you'd ask him, he'd be like, you know, I saw some snakes over there by the creek. And I'd be like, where did you see them? He'd be like, you know, over yonder by the holler. Over yonder by the holler. I was like, hell yeah. Doing banjos, baby. I love it. I love it. And Travis, also, thanks for the 2. Love y'all together. It makes me feel better. Yeah, I love these streams. I think we cut loose and we have a lot of fun on them. It makes reading stuff too a lot better. I like the serious part too, because when I look at something, sometimes I may miss something or I get another person's opinion on it, you know, and that helps, you know. There's no confirmation bias for me. If I'm looking at it and I have a certain idea in my head, I'm not confirming that. I have someone else's voice to be like, no, Doug, that's stupid. Yeah. Right, Mama. Thanks for the get your crystal for JJ. It's only $5, $19.99.
Do you think that's a joke that actually exists? They're
Oh,
actually, I have seen the
no way.
pictures of them selling
Wait,
that exact thing.
Oh my God, Becky. My brain has just fried. This is not wholesome enough for Mayberry.
Yeah, we can't talk about the V word here.
Who in the... Why would you go? You know, anytime I've ever gone out looking for rocks and stuff, I've never been like, oh, you want your Pee-wee arrowheads? No, I've never thought that. Never, you know. Not what nature intended, let's just say.
I know. Lord. I don't know. I can't explain it. I really can't, but I do know that that's true. I should find the picture. It's buried somewhere in my Twitter, but it's funny.
Pat Patrick here. Thanks for the vibe. Levy County Community College of Otter Creek, the LMNOP School of Per Se Law Education, enrolling soon. Hey man, you know, after I saw the writing expert, they might as well pop out their pro se freaking education law school. Makes sense. These things for the 10. Someone has to graduate last in law school. He was last in his class. He obviously skipped a lot of lectures in law school. I don't know.
It's one of my favorite jokes for doctors and lawyers. What do you call the guy who graduated last in his class in law school? A lawyer.
A lawyer, yeah.
What do you call a guy who graduated last in his class in medical school? Doctor. Hard to tell.
Malpractice. That's what I call it.
What do you call payday?
I think they made a show out of him. It's called Dr. Death. You know?
I mean, it's too bad that you can't I feel like they should have to put their test scores somewhere visible in their offices.
Yeah. That actually would, for real.
Yeah.
If you had a diploma that said D student, he'd be like,
yeah. Like, I think I'll search for a different doctor or lawyer. Could you put how many times it took you to pass the bar? Like, if you get 1 star, if it was 1, you get negative after that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want somebody making my heart valves look like they're playing Twister or something. No. I want the best qualified. AJ World, thanks for the 2 there. My merch shirts came in. Love them so much. Awesome. Some of those shirts designs, they look amazing. Again, 2 people to credit for those. First of all, everybody who has great ideas, I want to credit all of you too. So many great ideas come from stuff. But beyond that, Dead Punk has done amazing work. And Ray, man, if you need any time for real, I'm not getting paid by him or anything to say this, but he has helped me tremendously when it's come to people not being able to take my website and other stuff down. So if you need help with that, if you want to make sure that it's secured from the front to the back end, because you can't do that. Some of these people will if they'll aim at your channels, they'll aim at every aspect of what you do. If you have businesses you want to protect the same way, talk to Ray, man. He does great work. But thank you for picking up the shirts too. I appreciate that. We have we'll be adding a new one soon, but we have the, again, I played the 5th, and we have the Bucket of Thrones. We have that one too. And Travis, thanks for 5. Tug, if I didn't watch you, I don't know where I would be right now, but it impacted my life in a major way. It got me to be better, brother. Hey man, I'm for real. I am proud of that. Stories like this, honestly, some days I get up and I'm like, I'm not going to live stream. I don't feel like it. I feel like, whatever we're covering is depressing. It's just horrible. But stuff like this, for real, it helps out. So you guys help us too. Thank you. Dan, thanks for the 2. BBB was graded on a curve. Oh. And Vanessa, thanks for the Dead Punk Gage is in the house. Well, Dead Punk, like I said, I appreciate you, man. And if people love the art, I mean, good Lord, just to give him a real shout. Like if you actually, let me pull up
check your Twitter DMs
picture.
while you're looking too.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm pulling this up. I want to put the real picture here because it gets cut off. So this is the actual.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look how
isn't
good.
that beautiful? And look at how fast he did this work too.
I mean, know.
If people need merchandising or anything like that for their channels, you should hit the man up. He does good work, fast, works with ideas, whatever idea you have out there. Let me check this. Oh my Lord, is that what that is? That ain't no raisin.
Nope.
Oh my God. Yes, Megalodonus is sending me rocks I don't need to see.
I wonder if they hand those out at the women's marches, like,
oh Lord,
like
that's what I need in my life. Oh goodness. And Travis, thanks for the 2 there. I want you to know that you've impacted me a lot. But like I said, man, for real, legit, I appreciate you. For like your story has been one I've gotten to watch real time. And I watched you take your life and put it together. And you had a couple of moments there, man. That's life. And you know what you did? You overcame those. You persevered. So like I said, I'm proud of you, brother. All right. I like ended on that. Actually, I said that and then bam, Vanessa. I'll get it on that, but I won't. Like, wait a minute. Vanessa thinks about. Look at the little rings under his eyes too. Yeah, let's put him back up here. Let's really look him over. Give me a second. Oh man, I unlocked it there. You threw me off with that crazy stuff you sent me, Megalodonus.
I'm sorry, but you had to see it.
Look at
it. Little bags.
I like it. Look at that. I played the 5. Look at all the detail.
Really
it
excellent.
Looks so good. It is, man. You does great work. He also he put it in black and white because it's Mayberry.
I love it. I love it. I love everything about it.
Oh, it's good stuff. All right. Anything you want to add, Megalodonus, before we end here?
No, I don't. I have nothing. I have nothing.
If Shara does indeed drop something tomorrow, I will be covering it. Let me say that. Also, Shara is at 1.69K subscribers now. She's gonna hit 2K subscribers soon. It's gonna be amazing. If she drops something else, it'll push it over as well. Yes, I love it. All right. We are ended here, though. I appreciate all you wonderful folks. It has been a fun one. Thank you, Megan, for being here. And we will see you. Bye there. Professional.